What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
8 id. Chapter 176 The Battle of Adu. Golden Lion vs. Roger. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. New World. Advo Sea. The wind is rising, the clouds are swelling, and the waves are rolling. On the undulating sea, a large three-masted sailboat with a mermaid statue was rising and falling in the big waves. Hanging on the mast is the wavy bearded pirate flag symbolizing freedom. They are the Roger Pirates. At this moment, the Roger Pirates are facing the biggest crisis since their establishment. Whether it's Rocks back then or the marine hero Garp who has been chasing them. They have never been put into such a near-death situation. Directly in front of the mermaid Oro Jackson pirate ship. Dozens of large pirate ships are scattered at random. At the front is a golden lion-headed ship. It belongs to the 347, largest dominant force in this sea. The flying pirate fleet led by Golden Lion Shiki. The Battle of God's Island 10 years ago. The Rocks pirate was defeated. The pirate group fell apart. The only two Legion commanders who successfully escaped were Golden Lion Shiki and Captain John. However, the commander of the First Army, John, was short-sighted. Only ready-made treasures can be seen in the eyes. His prestige among pirates is not high, coupled with his style of taking money and absconding without authorization. He immediately became the target of public criticism. The opposite of John, Golden Lion Shiki started from the moment he joined Rocks Pirate. He has been planning some big plan. That is, after the failure of Rocks' plan, receive his inheritance. So when John committed suicide and took the money to escape, Golden Lion Shiki has let go of its treasure trove to win over people's hearts. Based on the remnants of the Rocks pirates, he rebuilt his own flying pirate fleet. Want to recreate Rocks' great achievements and become the sole overlord of the sea. 10 years have passed. Golden Lion Shiki's flying pirate fleet reached its peak in Ultimate. But it is far from being the sole overlord of the sea. So he plans to emulate Rocks. Conquer heroes from all walks of life. The first is the Roger Pirates, whom he has the least dealing with. Then came Whitebeard, then Big Mom, and recently Kaido, who has gradually become famous. When all the sea actually joins his command, then he is the king of the sea beyond Rocks. Golden Lion Shiki firmly believes so. Gia ha 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 ha. Unruly laughter echoed under the dark sky. The evil spirit and murderous intent of the flying pirate fleet and hundreds of thousands of ferocious pirates merged into one, and the sky seemed to be falling due to it. Captain Roger, Oro Jackson pirate ship, Buggy, an intern with a prominent red nose, held his head and cried bitterly in fear. Life is the most important thing, let's just follow the Golden Lion for now. Buggy, Shanks, the red-haired intern wearing a straw hat, put his hands on his hips helplessly. Your body has become indestructible no matter how you cut it, so what does it matter? There are many weaknesses, idiot. Buggy retorted. By the way, Mr. Crocus, how is the captain's condition? He is not suitable for fighting yet. As a doctor, go and stop him. Buggy placed his hope in the ship's Dr. Crocus. Unfortunately, he is in excellent condition now. Crocus shouldered his quiver and got ready for battle. Mr. Rayleigh, Buggy was about to run towards Rayleigh. A big hand grabbed him on the way. Give up, we have been with Roger for so long and we still haven't been able to convince him. Third in command Copper Jabba grinned. How? Buggy couldn't accept it. Yo ho ho ho. Brooke, who was dead with only a handful of bones left, jumped up lightly. Let me play a song for everyone here. Oh, this feeling is good. Brooke, come on. Let's have a grand and spectacular scene. Everyone in Roger's group was impassioned. Yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. The melodious pirate song echoed under the sky. 25 years ago, Roger changed the fate of Brooke and the Lumba pirates and sent them to Twin Capes to reunite with Laboon. Unfortunately, in the years since Roger left, unfortunately for Brooke, something went wrong again. Died accidentally, and on the way back from hell. As expected, Brooke got lost again. When he returned to his body, it was already a skeleton of bones. It was destined that he would live another life in the form of bones. Brooke was resurrected in Twin Points with nothing to do and no goals. At this time, the Roger Pirates are in urgent need of a ship's doctor who can solve the problem because their captain Roger suddenly becomes seriously ill. They thought of the Crocus they had encountered. On the way to inviting Crocus, he also invited bone musicians. Brooke, who had nothing to do and no goals, readily accepted the offer, became a member of the legend, and became active on the sea again. I've said this dozens of times, Roger. Although we had a lot of grievances when we were young, let's forget about it. As long as you have the weapons you know that can destroy the world and my military strength. In addition to the perfect plan that I spent a long time constructing. You can dominate this world right now. Golden Lion Shiki is independent from Golden Lion Head Top and passionately develops its own performance 5.2. Be my right arm, Roger. I have no interest in domination, Shiki. Finally, Roger was no longer silent. What's the point of being a pirate if you can't do what you want to do? No matter how much pressure you put on me, Golden Lion, I will reject your proposal. Roger Hockey's grin. In other words, your answer is to tell me to kill you here now, right? Golden Lion Shiki smiled cruelly. No, I mean to defeat all of you. Boom. There was a loud blast of artillery fire. Represents the beginning of the war. Chapter 177 Falling onto the island. Kill the island. Roger takes the baby to the war. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. There was a loud blast of artillery fire. The mermaid turret on the bow of the Oro Jackson took the lead in launching the offensive. One shot almost destroyed a large pirate ship. This shot also symbolizes the official start of the war. On the vast sea, the first thing that took place was the gunfire exchange between the pirate ships. Under the tossing and turning of the excellent helmsman Fishman Sunbell, coupled with the full cooperation of all members of the Roger Pirates, the Oro Jackson pirate ship survived from the edge of capsizing time and time again. Even in the face of the concentrated fire of dozens of warships. Still standing. Gia ha 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 ha. Unruly laughter exploded under the sky. You forced me to do this. Roger. Golden Lion Shiki arrived directly above Oro Jackson at some point. The two big sharp knives in his hand, Sakurashi and Muku, were suddenly chopped down. Slash wave. The huge golden sword energy fell towards Oro Jackson's head, trying to cut him in two. Don't try to attack our ship, Shiki. Roger shouted angrily. The supreme and sharp black sword ace is unsheathed. Push back the 100-meter-long golden sword energy 23. Shiki, don't get too carried away. Copper Jabba took off in twos, and finally used the mass to leap hard, touching the sky where Golden Lion Shiki was. The jet black twin axes surrounding the high-level armament Hokiwere swung boldly. Gia haha. Golden Lion Shiki took Jabba's twin axes with twin swords wrapped in the same high-grade armament colors. Boom. The terrifying power shock wave caused the atmosphere in all directions to ripple like water waves. Drink. Copper Jabba shouted wildly, forcing Golden Lion Shiki to take a few steps back. Just talk about pure power. It was Jabba who was even better. Gia ha 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 ha. Copper Jabba, a born with strange powers, truly deserves his reputation. It would be such a waste for a man like you to stay with Captain Roger. Are you interested in coming to my side and becoming my right-hand man? Golden Lion Shiki laughs and invites. He wanted to poach people in front of Roger. To this, not just Roger, but the entire Roger Pirates didn't care at all. This is out of absolute trust in your partner. They are all partners who share life and death in battle after battle. They are true brothers who can trust each other's back. Shiki bastard. Unfortunately, like Roger, I really have no interest in world conquest or anything like that. Jabba grinned. That's it. Regarding Jabba's rejection, Golden Lion Shiki was not surprised. In that case, I can only ask you to die. The corner of Shiki's mouth raised a subtle arc. I don't know when. The sound of gunfire on the sea gradually stopped. The flying pirate fleet that originally surrounded the Roger Pirates retreated and evacuated in an orderly manner. Ha ha ha. Do those guys from the Flying Pirates know how powerful we are and want to escape? Big red-nosed Buggy laughed complacently. How is this possible? Shanks, the red-haired boy wearing a straw hat, complained. Be careful, what must that bastard Shiki be trying to do? Vice Captain Rayleigh was placed on maximum alert. Suddenly, a shadow of terror fell over his head. Look, Yin Jung, Petermoo, the sniper of the Roger Pirates, screamed. What is that? Island? Is it an island? Damn, Paramesha Lion Fruit, what a tricky ability. Hey ho ho ho, things are really going wrong now. Brooke forced a smile. Ah, I'm going to die, I'm really going to die this time. Buggy burst into tears. Gia ha 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 ha, Roger Pirates, this is my ultimatum to you. If you don't want to be crushed to pieces by the island, surrender quickly and swear allegiance to me. Golden Lion Shiki laughed proudly. No matter how many times I say the same thing, I refuse to be gay. Roger stood up with a sword, and Ace, the supreme fast sword, flashed with a cold light. Gia ha ha ha, this is really a pity. Although I really regarded you as a friend for a time, I still asked you to die. The expression on Golden Lion Shiki's face was unprecedentedly sinister and terrifying. Drink. He waved his hand. The island floating in the sky paused lightly. The fluttering ability exerted on the island is lifted. Under the pull of gravity, islands with a radius of several kilometers suddenly fell towards the sea. Ha 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 ha, go to hell, Roger Pirates. Perish under the might of Captain Shiki. This is the power of our flying pirates. Despair. The Roger Pirates are destined to become a passing cloud today. This is what will happen if you disobey orders. The pirates of the flying pirate fleet laughed wantonly and wildly. Everyone, hurry up, it's about to start drifting. The helmsman, the fishman Sunbell, gripped the rudder tightly. The muscles in his hands further expanded like a horned dragon. The other crew members were not idle either. Everyone performs their duties. Further speeding up Oro Jackson. Finally, the bottom of the fallen island touches the sea. In an instant, a super tsunami of tens of meters was set off. That's too late. Not even close. Go for it. All members of Roger's group roared in unison. However, the terrifying shadow still follows him. Kang. The sound of swords being unsheathed came and went. Headed by Captain Roger, Vice Captain Rayleigh, third in command Jabba, Swordsman Spencer. The officers of the Roger Pirates lined up. Prepare to strike a unified blow that will dominate the world. Smash the fallen island. However, don't wait for the Roger Pirates to make any move. Without warning, it was as if there was a breeze blowing between heaven and earth. Ever since, the wind stopped. The clouds are quiet. Even the raging sea waves seemed to be frozen. The next second. Click, click, click. The sky and the earth shattered like a mirror. A little blazing white light blooms. Then the whole world lit up. A series of criss-crossing shining cracks covered the entire island. Boom boom. A terrifying roar, like the sky falling and the earth collapsing, echoed for 9 days. Among all members of the Roger pirates. In Golden Lion Shiki. Under the shocked gazes of hundreds of thousands of people in the flying pirate fleet. The island with a radius of several kilometers exploded into countless tiny fragments. Somewhere, it was like an invisible big hand brushed by. The scattered island fragments in the sky were blown hundreds or thousands of meters away. The battleships of the flying pirate fleet, which were hiding far away, were riddled with holes. Endless waves surge. In an instant, nearly half of the dilapidated flying battleships were swallowed up by the raging waves. The remaining half soared into the sky as Golden Lion Shiki raised his hand. Only then did he narrowly avoid being swallowed by the big waves. Damn it, which bastard is that from somewhere? Golden Lion Shiki yelled angrily. Captain Shiki, look aside. On the Golden Lion head ship, Dr. Indigo, the ship's doctor, pointed in horror at the small boat that appeared on the sea at an unknown time. Ah ha 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 ha. Mr. Roger, you are here to save us. Roger laughed excitedly. Chapter 178 It's fun. Robin's Day and Roger's group. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Rough sea surface. A small sailboat with a black awning drifted with the current. It seems that it may collapse at any time, but it always listens. The bow of the boat. Roger slowly put away the knife. Posture hockey is awe-inspiring. Until a certain moment. Dad, Daddy hug. 2 pink and beautiful 3-year-old girls spread their arms with milky sounds. The hockey and awe-inspiring feeling around Roger suddenly disappeared and disappeared. What appeared instead was Daddy's kindness and gentleness. Robin-chan, Hiyori-chan, I'm sorry for frightening you. Roger picked up his daughter one by one. Giggle. Ha ha, little Robin and little Hiwa laughed happily. Dad is mighty. Dad is the strongest. Adventures with Dad are simply the best. The 2 little girls spoke in unison. Then he slapped Roger's left and right faces simultaneously. Robin, Hiyori, Daddy will take you on more and more interesting adventures in the future. Roger laughed happily. Ah ha 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 ha. A silly giggle not far away interrupted the warm interaction between father and daughter. The large 3-masted sailing ship Oro Jackson and the small awning sailboat approached slowly. Mermaid. It's Sister Mermaid. Robin and Hiyori pointed at the bow of Oro Jackson's boat in unison. I thought of the mermaid sisters that Roger had met not long ago when he took them to the Fishman Island in the 10,000-meter deep sea. Looking at the hopeful eyes of her daughters, Roger smiled and nodded. Hop aboard Oro Jackson with my 2 daughters. Ah ha ha ha, Teacher Roger, I knew that the only one who could hit such an earth-shattering blow is Teacher. Roger stepped forward with a smile. Yeah, it's amazing. One sword spreads an island. Senior Roger is indeed a sword that is still young. Not only are you still young, you are simply making further progress. I am becoming more and more proficient. This is the legendary hero of Impel Down. I'm so impressed. Spencer, Captain Mulian, Taro, Dollinger, etc. The officers of the Roger Pirates spared no effort to shoot rainbow farts. Even the Deputy Captain Rayleigh and the third-in-command Jabba are no exception. Headed by Captain Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba and others all rubbed their hands nervously and gathered around. Teacher Roger, these 2 cute little girls are Robin and Hiyori. I heard that guy Garp talk about them. Roger's kind eyes fell on the 2 little girls on Roger's left and right. Yes, I'm Robin. Robin, who is naturally social, raised his hand and introduced himself without any hesitation. I'm Hiyori. In comparison, Hiwa is slightly weaker than her elder sister. But he's not too afraid of strangers. So cute. As expected of Senior Roger's daughter. Really, so cute. Everyone in Roger's group praised him from the bottom of their hearts. Look at the cute smiles on Robin and Hiyori's faces. They felt both physically and mentally healed. For a while. Even the war going on in front of me was forgotten. Little Robin, little Hiyori, come on, give me a hug from Uncle Roger. Roger enthusiastically took Robin and Hiyori from Roger's arms. Uncle Garp said Uncle Roger is a bad person, is this true? Hiyori asked weakly. Your Uncle Garp is a big fool, don't believe what he says. Roger said righteously. That's good. Xiaohihei breathed a sigh of relief. Quickly, the 2 3-year-old girls were familiar with everyone on the boat. Put your hands on your hips and walk around. Watching the interaction between Roger and his daughter and their own cadres. Red-nosed Buggy was completely stunned. Who is that man? How can he be praised so humbly by the captain and everyone? Is he the one who destroyed that island before? Buggy murmured in shock. Stupid Buggy, who else could it be but that guy? The red-haired Shanks straightened the straw hat on his head. Idiot Shanks, are you looking for a beating? Buggy, remember well, that person is the legendary hero, the director of Impel Down, the deep-sea prison, Roger Shireyasha. He is also our Captain Roger's teacher. The red-haired Shanks introduced seriously. Nani, Captain Roger's teacher. Buggy couldn't help but be shocked again. Not only Captain Roger, but also Marine's hero Garp, who is also his disciple. Shanks said in shock. Buggy, Red Nose. Idiot Shanks, don't call me Red Nose. Buggy instinctively got angry at Shanks next to him. Who said you have a red nose? Shanks gave Buggy a sidelong look. It wasn't you, it would be. Buggy didn't finish his words. The next second, a small figure jumped up. The little hand grabbed Buggy's big red nose. Buggy was so painful that he threw himself on the street. Red nose, red nose. Xiaohihei cheered happily. My nose is not a toy. Buggy wants to go crazy. But the next second, the Buggy who received the death gaze order from Rayleigh, Jabba and others wilts instantly. He had to let Hiyori treat his big red nose as a toy. The other side, little Robin, who was wandering around, came to the cabin. He grabbed a stick with both hands. He poked the corpse near the hatch. Brooke, who was dead with only a handful of bones left, remained motionless and continued to pretend to be dead. Robin poked again. At some point, maybe Robin poked Bones' smile point. Yo ho ho ho. Brooke, who was pretending to be dead, finally couldn't keep pretending anymore. Tears of laughter splashed everywhere. Dakian Zhao, alas, the bones have spoken. Even Robin, who is a sociopath, couldn't help but be shocked. Yo ho ho ho, little girl, you poked my smile point, even though I'm just a handful of bones, yo ho ho ho. Brooke's funny jokes come as expected. Poof. The frightened Robin couldn't help laughing. Hey, Brooke, it's been so long. Roger stepped forward with a smile, looking strange. Brooke. Who is Brooke? I am dead and only a handful of bones are left. Yo ho 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 ho. Brooke denied it. Roger just smiled and praised him. Okay. I'm extremely sorry, Lord Roger, Without waiting, Brooke apologized for embarking on the pirate road again. The next second, angry roars exploded from the sky. It's almost time to give me enough. Asshole Roger and Shireyasha Roger. Chapter 179 30 versus 100,000. 3-in-1 Conquerors. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Asshole Roger and Shireyasha. It's almost time for you to call it quits. The furious shouts of the flying pirate admiral, Golden Lion Shiki echoed under the dark sky. Then, the joyful atmosphere on the Oro Jackson pirate ship came to a halt. Many crew members fisted each other in unison. A look of surprise appeared on his face. Finally, he remembered the fact that they were currently at war with Golden Lion's flying pirates. Ah ha 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 ha. Shiki, you are still here, I thought you had run away long ago. Roger stood at the bow of the boat, leaving the exit. Run. Why should I run? Golden Lion Shiki shouted angrily. Because my teacher is here. Roger said matter-of-factly. Yeah, Golden Lion, Senior Roger is here, do you still dare to be so presumptuous? Look carefully, this is the legendary hero Shireyasha, Lord Roger. When facing Senior Roger, even if you turn around and run away on the spot, there is no shame at all. I've heard a lot of rumors, Shiki, you must have been taught by Roger Senpai more than once before. Haven't you learned your lesson yet? This gentleman is the strongest 680 in the world. If you don't want to go to Impel Down, I suggest you run away quickly. Rayleigh, Jabba, Captain Mu Lien and other Roger Regiment cadres started teasing each other. If it were before, Golden Lion Shiki might actually turn around and run away on the spot. But this time it didn't work. Asshole Roger pirates, don't look down on others so much. Golden Lion Shiki roared. The veins on his forehead swelled. So what about Shireyasha? After all, he's just an old man. It's not certain whether he is the strongest now. Golden Lion Shiki gritted his teeth and said harshly. If that's the case, then come over here. Roger crossed his fingers. Yeah, Shiki, come over if you can. It's really unconvincing to hide so far away and say such big words. Stop talking. Golden Lion Shiki's eyes were electric. Roger Shireyasha and Roger the Bastard, it's great to get together. Today I will launch a battle of revenge for the defeat of the Valley of the Gods 10 years ago. With just a few dozen of you, are you capable of resisting my army of 100,000 people? Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion Shiki laughed wildly. That guy Shiki, what are you planning? Rayleigh frowned slightly. Hey, everyone, look at the sea. The navigator's eyes widened and he spoke repeatedly. As the direction of the current changing. Murloc Sunbell is suspicious. No, there is something under the sea. Jabba stopped drinking. Coming soon. As Rayleigh's words fell, suddenly something huge broke out of the sea in all directions. Not sea kings, but the islands and rocks. An island breaks out of the sea. It flew into the sky together with the Oro Jackson. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion Shiki waved his hand. The island hidden under the sea rises further. Capture. Finished. A triumphant smile appeared on Shiki's face. Hey, Shiki, do you think everything will be fine if we are trapped in the air? Our Oro Jackson will never fall apart even if it falls from a height of several thousand meters. Roger said confidently. Gia ha 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 ha. I told you, today is a war. The follow-up to the Battle of God's Island 10 years ago. Golden Lion Shiki laughed. War. War. The flying pirate fleet's 100,000 warriors shook the world. In contrast, the Roger pirates only have 20 or 30 people, and the gap in numbers is really huge. To the former members of the Rocks CDCH group, I promise you that I will never break my promise. Today is our day to avenge Captain Rocks. Take Shiro Yaksha. Take Roger's bastard's head. Golden Lion Shiki raised his arms and shouted. And sacrifice their heads and blood to our flag to seize this world. Oh oh oh, kill, 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 kill all the Roger pirates. Kill Shireyasha Roger. Victory belongs to our flying pirate fleet. Avenge Captain Rocks. Young boys, win for Boss Shiki. The murderous intent of the pirates soared into the sky. Gia ha 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 ha, go ahead. Fight to your heart's content. Golden Lion Shiki waved his hand. Dozens of pirate fleets floating in the sky were like javelins, stabbing down on the island. An army of 100,000 pirates rushed towards the only ship in the center. Rayleigh, Jabba, Roger greeted. It's already been prepared. Then let's break out together. Rayleigh and Jabba grinned and took a step forward. Stand side by side with Captain Roger. The next second. Suddenly an invisible storm blew between heaven and earth. The ultimate horror Conquerors hockey is centered on the pirate ship Oro Jackson and spreads out in all directions. This is Roger, Rayleigh and Jabba, the Conquerors Union. The three Conquerors hockey merged and collided with each other, and then exploded. Wow, a terrifying hockey ripple appeared in the void. The charge of the 100,000 pirate army that filled the mountains and plains came to an abrupt end. Immediately afterwards, the figures of the pirates who were approaching in a menacing manner suddenly came to an abrupt halt. Their figures and expressions on their faces were frozen. His eyes rolled blankly. Jingle bells. That was the sound of weapons falling from their hands. Immediately afterwards, the dull sound of flesh touching the earth came and went. The pirates fell unconscious one after another. With that 3-in-1 Conqueror's ultimate mental blast. Half of Golden Lion Shiki's flying pirate fleet was destroyed in an instant. More than 50,000 of the 100,000 New World pirates collapsed to the ground at this moment. Many of the remaining 50,000 elites could only barely withstand Hockey's attack. Gia haha, even if 50,000 people fall, I still have 50,000 more, and they are all the elites among the elites, enough to destroy your Roger pirates 100 times. Golden Lion Shiki gritted his teeth and spoke. What did you say? Captain Roger, Mr. Thunder, Jabba, give them another try. Mu Lien, Taro and others encouraged. Roger didn't say anything, he just locked his eyes on Roger. Wow, the situation in the world changes drastically. Chapter 180 The Territory of Overlord. Human hair and murderous intent are repeated all over the world. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Robin, Hiyori, don't be afraid. Dad is going to deal with the bad guys right away. Roger's big hand gently brushed over his daughter's little heads. In the dark, invisible power spreads out. It dispelled the gloom and uneasiness in the hearts of the two little girls. Xiaorihei nodded weakly. Dad, go ahead, I will protect Hiyori. Robin said seriously. What a good boy. Roger gave his daughters a final kiss on their foreheads. He stood up immediately. In an instant, the atmosphere around Roger changed. The 3 consecutive conquerors that erupted around Roger, Rayleigh and Jabba subsided like a tidal wave. Instead, what dominated this world was another, more majestic aura. It's like the breath of a god, overwhelming the world. This caused the 50,000 New World pirate elites, including Golden Lion Shiki, to feel great fear for no reason. Shiki kid, I was just passing by today. But you absolutely shouldn't. You shouldn't scare my lovely daughters. Roger spoke calmly. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion Shiki laughed away the uneasiness in his heart. This is really rude, but they may be even more scared next. If you don't want your daughters to be frightened and cry, just take them and run away quickly. I promise not to hunt you down. Golden Lion Shiki raised the corner of his mouth with a teasing arc. Yeah. Roger shook his head. Boy Shiki, I haven't seen you for 10 years. I didn't expect you to be so swollen now. Have you forgotten the painful experience in the past? Stop talking. Shut up. You bastard, your time has passed long ago. This era now belongs to me, the flying pirate, Golden Lion Shikida. Golden Lion shouted in anger. However, memories of the past can't stop popping up in my mind. It made his tall body tremble unconsciously. Damn it, damn it, damn it. All hands. Assault. Kill them all. Unable to dispel the gloom in his heart, Shiki shouted angrily and ordered a general attack. Kill, kill, kill. The pirates who had adjusted to the impact of Roger's 3 conquerors roared and charged. However, the next second, a sudden change that was 10 times more terrifying than the previous 3 conquerors occurred. The sky sends murderous intentions, and the stars change places. The earth emits murderous intent, dragons and snakes rise from the land. People are murderous, and heaven and earth are in turmoil. The harmony of heaven and man establishes the foundation of all transformations. The general trend that shrouded the heaven and earth suddenly burst out and exploded. It fell in all directions. Then, the situation changed. Heaven and earth were overturned. The New World pirate masters, who were charging from all over the mountains and plains, came to an abrupt halt once again. And the changes this time are dozens of times greater than before. In an instant, their bodies felt like they were being hit hard. It was as if there was an invisible big hand pressing down on the cover. The bodies that pressed them slowly bent. Finally he knelt down. The earth cracked beneath their knees. Their bodies fell next. The pirates opened their mouths. However, he couldn't even make a sound. He could only passively bear the double pressure from his body and spirit. Under this pressure, the remaining pirates rolled their eyes one after another. It won't take long. The remaining 50,000 elites of the flying pirates who had withstood the 3rd company of conquerors also rushed to the street. In the end, less than 100 people managed to remain conscious. Silence in all directions. Everything was silent. I don't know how much time has passed. Roger, this is. Rayleigh turned her head and looked at her close friend aside, with deep shock and disbelief in her eyes. He could probably guess what Roger's power was, but it was too exaggerated. Ah ha ha ha, yes, Rayleigh, this is the power of territory. Roger laughed. The territory. Above the Conquerors' entanglement. The power to control the nature of heaven, earth, and make all things loyal. This is the territory of the Overlord. Rayleigh murmured in shock. But this scope is really exaggerated. Jabba, who also knew this power, had a dull expression on his face. Roger, how big is your territory? Please give me flowers. Jabba looked at Roger. Ah ha ha ha, about 50 meters in radius. But, I can only say that you are truly worthy of being teacher Roger. Roger's face was filled with wonder. Oh. Good, amazing, MN. As expected of Senior Roger. This is Roger Senpai's Conquerors. This is too awesome. Is this the power of God? It must have touched the realm of God. All members of Roger's group were amazed and screamed strangely. Witnessed with my own eyes the flying pirates lying unconscious all over the mountains and plains. No one can help being shocked by it. At the same time. Above the mountains. On Roger's territorial power. Even Golden Lion's lion fruit ability can no longer stand in the sky. This kind of thing. Look at the scene in all directions. The expression on Golden Lion Shiki's face was almost dull. No matter what, I cannot accept the reality in front of me. That's his 100,000 flying army. It took him 10 years. An army that has been painstakingly built to conquer the world. It was so vulnerable. The two sides haven't even come face to face yet. Just 2 Conquerors blasts. His elite army of 100,000 was completely defeated. What a nightmare. If it's a nightmare, it's long past time to wake up. Boss Shiki, what on earth do we do now? The core senior officials who were barely able to hold on under the power of the territory screamed heartbreakingly. Asshole. This kind of thing. Of course this kind of thing can't just be let go. Golden Lion Shiki roared angrily. Okay, let the war directly enter the final stage. You guys, come with me, kill. Golden Lion Shiki slammed his big hand to the ground. Bring up the boundless earth tsunami and kill Oro Jackson. Roger, leave it to us next, teacher Roger. Roger confidently stepped forward with the knife. Chapter 181 Garp Sengoku arrives. No lazy flash Vice Admiral. Open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Lion Majesty. Earth coiling. God avoids. Slash wave. God avoids. Lion Thousand Slice Valley. God's avoidance. God's avoidance. God's avoidance. Asshole Roger, what else can you do besides avoiding God? Stop blabbering, Shiki, you don't care what I know. God avoids. Wow. Roger pirates and flying pirates. The highest level of core cadre war has begun. The land in all directions. There were bursts of explosions. The Golden Lion side still has more cadres than Roger's group. But as this see, the Iron Wall elite group is not respected by their numbers. The Roger pirates, except for the 2 brats who were interns, the rest of the Roger pirates, if picked at random, would have a strength of hundreds of millions at least. In addition, there are 2 higher level combat powers, Rayleigh and Jabba. 433 means that the number of cadres on the Golden Lion side is several times that of the Roger regiment. Roger's group is still not far behind. He even had a slight upper hand. Facing an army of 100,000 people, the Roger pirates have no chance of winning. But now, the chances of winning are definitely not small. Hey, Dad, aren't you going to help Uncle Roger and the others? Little Robin blinked his eyes. This is their fight, and Dad won't get involved. Robin, Hiyori, if you're scared, just go to sleep. You'll be fine when you wake up. Roger smiled. No, the 2 little girls shook their heads at the same time. I always feel it's more exciting than watching Sabayati's movie show. Then keep watching. 1 hour, 2 hours, after 3 hours of intense stalemate. The situation of the war gradually became clear. The cadres of the Fatian regiment, headed by Golden Lion Shiki, gradually showed signs of decline. Although the Roger regiment cannot be said to be unscathed, at least there have been no serious casualties. Even the 2 interns, Shanks and Buggy, are still active on the battlefield. Sudden. Bang 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 bang. There was a loud sound of artillery fire between heaven and earth. The huge floating sky island trembled violently. The bottom of the island took tons of shelling. The attack originated from the sea. Captain Roger, something bad happened. Marine is here. The red-nosed Buggy screamed in surprise. Not good. Even the little red-haired Shanks sensed something was wrong at this moment. Captain Roger, Marine seems to have spent a lot of money this time. This is the configuration of Super Buster Call, and not only Admiral Sengoku, but also Garp is here. Shanks spoke repeatedly. Ah ha ha ha, this is really not good. Roger smiled. Nani, isn't this something bad? It's very bad. Captain Roger, it's time to retreat. Ah ha, we can't retreat now if we want to. Roger looked at Golden Lion Shiki who was almost losing his mind. Hey, Shiki bastard, please wake up, Marine is here. If we continue to fight, we will both lose and Marine will get a huge advantage. When the time comes, neither of us will be able to please each other, you know. How about we make a truce for the time being, and you float the island to a place where Marine can't reach it, and then we continue. Everyone in Roger's group yelled. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion Shiki finally smiled again. Roger pirates, are you finally afraid? Both sides suffer. Let Marine take advantage. This kind of thing doesn't matter anymore. Golden Lion Shiki grinned. Crazy, crazy. That guy Shiki is really crazy. Golden Lion Shiki really went crazy because of this huge setback. No, in fact, at this moment, Golden Lion Shiki was sober as never before. He knows. Now after encountering Roger, today, even his lion fruit ability may not be able to take him away safely. On the other hand, look at the Roger pirates. There is an indescribable relationship. Roger would never actually catch them, since he can't escape. The worst case scenario is that no one should run away. We were caught together. Roger doesn't catch him. But Garp versus Sengoku. I will never show mercy to my brother Roger. At this point, Golden Lion knows it very well. Gia ha 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 ha. Roger pirates, let's go to hell together today. Let this sea be given over to Newgate. Golden Lion Shiki smiled ferociously. He pestered Roger with all his strength and refused to let go. You are such an old lion with an overstuffed mind. Roger shook his head helplessly. Already understand Shiki's thoughts. But what Shiki didn't expect was. Roger said it from the beginning. Today he was just passing by. The previous attack was just because he scared his daughters. If Shiki wants to escape, Roger won't stop, but that's it for now. Even if he wanted to run, I'm afraid it would be too late. Bang 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 bang. The sound of gunfire originating from the sea became increasingly intensive. At the same time, a harsh sonic boom suddenly exploded. Two dazzling sonic boom clouds passed under the dark sky. The powerful aura was overwhelming. Roger, that was Marine hero Garp shouting. Golden Lion, this is Admiral Sengoku's rant. Whoosh. Bright golden light shines. A group of Pika Pikas preceded Garp and Sengoku, arriving on the battlefield first. The visitor was wearing a yellow striped suit, aged less than 40. However, 4.8 already has a somewhat old and wretched appearance. And his unparalleled speed ability. The visitor is naturally the Vice Admiral of Naval Headquarters, Pelusalino. 2 years ago, Porsalino gained his own Logia Shining Fruit ability. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Whoosh whoosh. Countless golden laser rays fell towards the center of the battle between the Roger pirates and the Fatian cadres. Stirring up pieces of flying dust. Finished sending the ultimate move. Porsalino's eyes immediately fell on Roger. Teacher Roger, can you see that I am not lazy this time? Roger, little ones, the wind is blowing hard. Covered by the smoke of Porsalino. Roger gave the order to retreat. Chapter 182 The Showdown Between Old Enemies. Ka, Zon vs. Luo, Jin. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Through the chaos and smoke stirred up by Porsalino's 8-foot Magatama. The members of the Roger pirates took the opportunity to escape from the battle. Under Captain Roger's orders, we retreated back to the ship. Speaking of which, Captain, how are we going to run next? This is land in the sky. Red-nosed Buggy realized this problem and Yuan Hao couldn't help but scream. Ah ha ha ha, don't worry. Everyone, get ready to fly. Roger grinned. Oro Jackson is not equipped with a wind cannon system like the Thousand Sunny. But if you want to fly into the sky, there is naturally not just one way. Just when Buggy, Shanks and others were wondering. The next second, Oro Jackson suddenly trembled, lift off the ground. Seagull, can you still hold on? Roger looked at the giant seagull on the other side. Of course I'm totally fine with that. Captain Roger, you. Seagull, the giant with infinite strength, looked troubled. Yes, Roger, let's leave this to us, and you go to the boat first. Jabba said, who also had strange power 23. This is not okay. As the captain, of course I have to stand at the end. Roger said matter-of-factly. Although he doesn't have the natural strength like Jabba and Seagull. But he is blessed by the power of the territory. Roger. Marine hero Vice Admiral Garp's roar was earth-shattering. Oh, we have to speed up. Everyone, 1, 3, you are determined. Followed by Roger's roar. Oral Jackson, take off. It was like a cannonball that was heading overseas. The high-ranking officer of the Roger regiment, who was carrying the wings of the devil, spread his wide wings and grabbed the giant seagull and caught up with him on the ship. Don't even think about running away. Roger the bastard. Golden Lion Shiki smiled ferociously. He must activate his fluttering ability and catch up with Oro Jackson. Duh, a dark axe swooped over. Interrupted Golden Lion Shiki's spellcasting. Jabba, the Golden Lion was extremely angry. Sorry, Shiki, but your current opponent seems to be someone else. Jabba pointed behind Golden Lion Shiki remindingly. When the sound of Huang Zhong and Da Lu rang, the golden light between heaven and earth suddenly shines. A brilliant Buddha rises slowly, releases a powerful Daibutsu blast towards Golden Lion Shiki. Sengoku. Shiki roared. Shiki. Sengoku growled. A fierce battle begins between the two old enemies. The other side. Garp. Roger. Brothers and old enemies who have been friends for 40 years once again have a fierce confrontation. Roger, I will never let you run away again this time. Garp roared. Don't be so heartless, Garp, we are all one of our own after all. Roger smiled. Who? Garp spat lightly. Who is your friend? Wake up. A new round of war begins. Dad, why are Uncle Garp and Uncle Roger fighting? Xiaorihei asked weakly. Don't worry about them, they are all idiots and have been fighting for their whole lives. Roger said. Is it really okay? Robin asked. Suddenly. A golden light suddenly appeared. Porcellino stirred up a gust of wind. Invading Roger's pure land. The dust that came with it made the two little girls cough together, and then stuck out their sweet tongues cutely. Roger waved his hand quickly. Quickly dispersed the smoke and dust. Then he caught Porcellino, who didn't even have time to say anything, and beat him up. Woo, Porcellino whimpered, not daring to get angry or speak. Ah la la, has the fight started yet? Vice Admiral Kuzan walked over slowly. Teacher Roger, I'm reporting Kuzan for being lazy again. Porcellino raised his hands. Want to shift the focus. Ah la la, I am carefully surveying the enemy's situation. Kuzan said and quickly took out the phone bug from his pocket. Sister the Roger pirates have left the island. I've seen it. Leave it to me to pursue the Roger pirates. On the other end of the phone, Vice Admiral he said calmly. Okay. Kuzan put away the phone bug and looked at Porcellino with a smile. Porcellino shrank his head angrily. Fortunately, Robin and Hiyori were only slightly choked by dust. After giving Fatty a good beating, Roger was done with his anger. Tisk tisk tisk, senior brother Sengoku and Jin Jiangxi. And senior brother Garp and senior brother Roger. The battle between old enemies is really exciting. Yeah, I always feel a little on fire. Kuzan and Porcellino stood beside Roger. You spoke to me one by one. Roger looked sideways at the two disciples. Good guy. This is just standing next to him and fishing and being lazy. Stand with these two guys. Could it be that even I am suspected of taking advantage of the situation? Think of this. Roger raised his foot without mercy. One person kicked the two into the battlefield. The fierce battle between old enemies continues. Unconsciously, the battlefield between Sengoku and Golden Lion moved to the sea. The Buster Call warship, headed by Vice Admiral Xiaozaru, was pouring firepower mercilessly at the Roger Pirates 407 group, which was waiting for the captain. The distance between the two sides is very close. It's the perfect opportunity to catch it all in one fell swoop. Golden Lion's eyes rolled around. A big wave of his hand. The unstable floating sky island came over the warship and Oro Jackson. Not good. Sengoku's expression suddenly changed. Asshole Shiki, stop it. Jia ha 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 ha, it's too late. Shiki laughed. The big hand waved down brazenly. Floating sky island falls. They are about to catch all the Marine and Roger groups in one fell swoop. Suddenly, the wind rises from heaven and earth. The storm is coming. Under the sudden New World storm, the sea surged violently. This storm once damaged more than half of Golden Lion Shiki's flying pirate fleet. Golden Lion himself was unfortunately seriously injured by the steering wheel penetrating his head. But now, this storm will have no negative impact on the flying pirates. But for the Marine and Roger groups, the stormy sea came at the right time. Driven by the dual power of strong winds and ocean currents, the speed of the warship and Oro Jackson increased several times. Finally, successfully escaped from the top of Mount Tai before the island completely fell. How can it be? Chapter 183. Golden Lion ends and is arrested. The world is shaken. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Rumble, rumble, islands fall from the sky. It fell on the turbulent sea. It stirred up a terrifying tsunami tens to hundreds of meters high, raging in all directions. Under the control of the skilled Murloc helmsman Sunbel. The Oro Jackson pirate ship completed a beautiful surf slide amid the tsunami waves. Passed through the gap in the tsunami. All of a sudden, the members of Roger's group on the deck cheered collectively. As expected of Sunbel, this craftsmanship is truly unmatched. Yeah, as expected of the helmsman of our Roger pirates. Ah, I almost thought I was going to die. The intern Xiaoba cried bitterly as always. Ah ha ha ha, Buggy, don't be such a loser. You have to believe that your partner still has this ship. Shanks patted the shocked Buggy. Stop talking, you idiot Shanks, who do you think is the red nose? This side compartment. The Roger pirates relied on their superb helmsman to survive the disaster safely. The other side, although there are also highly skilled helmsmen in Marine. But a warship carrying a large number of personnel and weapons. In terms of lightweight, it is far inferior to Oro Jackson. In the end, it was only under the command of the Vice Admirals that a sharp sword formation was formed. The sturdy hull withstood the impact of tsunami waves. Finally, the hulls of each warship were damaged, but fortunately there was no tragic result of shipwreck or loss of life. All units, inspect the hull immediately and report the damage. If you can still move, quickly land on the island now. Vice Admiral Hisu waved his hand and issued the order immediately. And it's a very correct instruction. Facing a highly mobile Esper like Golden Lion Shiki. Their Buster Call artillery encirclement and suppression simply couldn't have the desired effect. If the Golden Lion is allowed to fly into the sky with the island again. Once again the horror of the island falling. I don't know if I can avoid it next time. Face the Golden Lion's lion fruit ability. The best solution is to land on his island. How is this possible? Pipe exclamation mark quote. Watching the Roger group escape the island and fall again. Take a look at the Marine Buster Call fleet that is also still alive. Golden Lion Shiki's old face showed endless shock and disbelief involuntarily. Yes, how can it be? How could the Roger pirates be so lucky as to avoid his fatal blows twice in a row? How could all marine warships be preserved? His island. Why did it just happen to fall in the middle of the two sides? And there was that inexplicable pause along the way. Who on earth interfered with his spellcasting? In the end, he fell short of success. I can't figure it out. Golden Lion Shiki's head was in chaos at this moment. At this time, the Buddha's Zen singing arrives. Golden Lion, you bastard, I will never let you escape this time. Admiral Sengoku roared, even if I saw the warship avoiding this disaster safely. He was still scared in his heart. So much so that his whole body was wet with cold sweat. Jia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion Shiki ducked out of the way of Sengoku's pig and made a sudden advance. His sight once again swept across the island. This time. Finally he got some good news. Thanks to the previous impact. There is also the watering of cold rain and sea water. The 100,000 strong Fatian regiment that fell under Conquerors' hockey not long ago is now awake. Jia ha 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 ha. Little ones, please all wake up. Let the hateful Marines know how powerful our flying pirate fleet is. Golden Lion Shiki's loud laughter echoed under the sky. Oh. The pirates raised their arms and shouted in unison. The flying fleet and the Buster Call army. A full-scale war with equal numbers and evenly matched forces begins. This battle, it lasted for a full day and night. Finally, the Roger pirates took advantage of the chaos and successfully escaped. Golden Lion Shiki's flying pirate fleet was defeated after the First World War. Ceased to exist, except for a small number of remnants who escaped quietly. All the main force was destroyed. The man who was known as the closest to rocks, the overlord of the sea, the flying pirate admiral, Golden Lion Shiki, has come to an end, and Marine Admiral Sengoku and Marine hero Garp have joined forces to arrest him. The Marines were even more delighted than the arrest of Golden Lion Shiki. This is an all-out war with pirates. Marine creates a new history. In a war of this magnitude, for the first time, the Marine side achieved the miracle of zero combat deaths. 100,000 Buster Call Marine elite. There are disabled people. But there was not even a single death. This is a miracle of miracles, a history of history. And everyone knows about the Marines participating in the war. The person who facilitated this miracle was the legendary hero of Impel Down, Roger Shirayasha. A week later, Marine class returns to headquarters. Headed by Marshal Kong, all the generals who stayed at the headquarters came to greet him. Welcome to the Guy Spin of Heroes. At the same time, Impel Down, 6 underground levels of eternal hell. That's the Golden Lion. Golden Lion Shiki. Why did he come in too? The great flying pirate Golden Lion Shiki, he was also captured by that man. With that Shirayasha here, the pirates on this sea will never be able to succeed. Even if we can go out, we will still have to live in the shadow of that man for the rest of our lives. Looking at the miserable pirate Golden Lion in the adjacent cell. The prisoners in other cells all whispered in despair. Jhaha, even this deep-sea prison can never contain Lousy. Golden Lion Shiki whispered weakly. The same day. With the concerted efforts of news agencies around the world. The detailed process of the Battle of Adbo is reported in the newspaper. Reached around the world via Newsbird. Ever since. The whole world is trembling. New world, a certain uninhabited island. Golden Lion Shiki, it's a bit of a pity that it ended like this. I haven't even had the chance to take revenge on him for the previous time. Kazuki Odin, captain of the White Team's 2nd Division, shook his head. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard's heroic laughter echoed under the sky. Grandpa is very active again. Although there aren't too many reports in the newspapers, according to gossip, it seems that Master Roger has achieved some incredible achievements. Marco, Josie, Beasta and others shouted one after another. This is a matter of course, after all, he is dad. Chapter 184, Overlord Encounter. Roger and Whitebeard. Open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. See Circle Calendar 1496. Since the fall of the flying pirate Golden Lion Shiki and his fleet of flying pirates. The Sea of the New World once again ushered in a period of relative peace. It was originally following the normal process. The fall of the Overlord will inevitably lead to the rise of heroes. Ambitions who aspire to be the hegemon will fight to the death for the territory and position of Golden Lion Shiki. Hope to become the new dominant player in the sea after Golden Lion. It's just that this era is a little bit special. The marine force in this era is too powerful. The marshal is Kong, a veteran who has conquered the sea for decades. Black Arm Admiral Zephyr although retired. But Tekken hero Garp has always been active on the sea. There is also the resourceful General Sengoku, who scares countless pirates. In addition, the Vice Admirals of this era are all as strong as monsters. Especially the Flash Vice Admiral Porcelino, the Frozen Vice Admiral Kuzan, and the Magma Vice Admiral Sakazuki. Either one is a genuine admiral. Plus Vice Admiral Flying Squirrel, Huo Shaoshan, Doberman and others. The ambitious pirates of the New World will show signs of emerging. Soon he will be pinned to death in the cradle by Marine's powerful combat power. Gradually, no one dared to be the leader. The situation in New World 947 transitioned in a smooth manner. There are still only 2 pirate groups that are qualified to become the only pirate group in the sea. That is the Whitebeard pirates led by Whitebeard Edward Newgate and the Roger pirates led by Roger. And, one day, near a special uninhabited island in New World, countless sea fish fled in panic. This scene happened to be seen by a group of people passing by. The pirate ship is the Smiling Whale ship, named Moby Dick. This group is one of the only overlords of the sea, the Whitebeard pirates. Is this a sign of things turning upside down? Could it be that an unprecedented storm is coming? Everyone in the white group widened their eyes in surprise. Bai Xiaoji is from that island. 2nd Division Captain Kazuki Odin pointed to a special island not far away. Yes, Whitebeard nodded thoughtfully. Is there a monster living there? Marco, how about you go take a look first? I don't want it. Marco refused decisively. It would be boring if we go. Pirates never say no to adventure. The huge whale ship Moby Dick heads straight towards the island. Until you get close. They were shocked to discover CDBI. Not just sea fish in the sea. The beasts on the island are also running around restlessly. Hey, this is really an incredible monster. Marco was flying in the sky with extreme shock on his face. Marco, what's wrong? Captain Marco, what did you see? Chaozi and others asked quickly. Dad, it's the Roger pirates. It's Roger's group on the island. Marco reported loudly. Alas, the deck of the whale ship was filled with shock and uproar. In short, he is a very powerful pirate. It's so good, I'm on fire. Kazuki Odin, captain of the 2nd Division, made a fist. Bai Xiaoji, I'll take the first step. Drop this sentence. Kazuki Odin decisively landed first and rushed towards the opposite side. Captain Odin. The members of the 2nd Division hurriedly followed in panic. Dad, what should I do? Marco and the others looked at Whitebeard. Roger, it's been such a long time. Now that we've met, let's go say hello. Whitebeard grinned. At the same time, the other side of the island opposite Whitebeard's group. Whoa, Captain. Buggy, the red-nosed intern, held up the lookout glass and screamed. Whitebeard's ship was found on the other side of the island. They seem to have noticed our side. Buggy yelled in panic. Newgate, I haven't seen him since the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. Roger smiled brightly. Roger, what are you going to do? Rayleigh asked. Hee, I have long heard that the guy from Newgate has gathered a group of outstanding partners, but we have never had the chance to meet them. Now is the chance. Roger said eagerly. Besides, there is that samurai who came out of the closed country. I also want to meet him. Then it's decided. The third-hand copper Jabba carries dual axes. What's wrong? Are you going to have a party with Whitebeard? Kadri Taro asked. Wrong. The smile on Roger's lips gradually widened. Of course pirates have to greet each other with fists. Boys, get ready to fight. Roger ordered loudly. Oh, everyone in Roger's group cheered in unison. Alas, Buggy, the red-nosed intern, widened his eyes in shock. Do we really want to fight? With that monster Whitebeard? We will both lose. And in the end, like last year, Marine will be attracted too. Buggy screamed worriedly. What a needless worry. Buggy, are your ears listening? Shanks, the red-haired intern wearing a captain's hat and a straw hat, shook his head helplessly. What did you say? Who is the red nose? Buggy said angrily. I didn't say you had a red nose. Shanks was speechless. Look, you said it. Say it now. Buggy took the opportunity to attack and pestered Shanks and refused to let go. In fact, Buggy's worries are not unnecessary. Because it's not far from this island. A marine warship has been following them since yesterday. He didn't attack either, he just hung far behind them. If they show signs of pursuit, the warship will decisively turn around and run away. At this moment, the sea is about 5 miles away from the island. A piercing siren sounded. The deck and communications room of the warship were busy. Emergency. It's confirmed. That's the Whitebeard pirates. I repeat, that's the Whitebeard pirates. The Whitebeard pirates and Roger pirates are about to come into contact. Please advise. What did you say? Whitebeard and Roger. Marshal Kong's shaking shout came from the other end of the phone. Don't act rashly and continue to watch on the island. I will send someone right now. Don't wait for Marshal Kong to finish. No need, Shao Kong. A faint voice interrupted Kong's words. Who are you? Is it an intruder? No. That's not right. This lord is. This gentleman is a hero. Roger the hero. Impel Down Shirayasha Roger Sama. Uncle Roger, you ran out again. Okay, I'll leave it to you this time. I will cancel the reinforcement order, but I can't control Garp. So be it. Gaga. Chapter 185 Roger vs. Whitebeard. Luo Tuan vs. White Tuan. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Wait, Captain Odin. Really, this time is really different from the past. That's the Roger Pirates. The Roger Pirates are really not easy to mess with. The members of the 2nd Division of the White Regiment shouted one after another. However, the reckless man running at the front obviously didn't listen to a single word. He just charged forward with all his strength. Finally. After crossing the dense jungle, 3 pirate enemies appeared in his sight. Kazuki Odin grinned. His hands fell on the double swords at his waist. Gun. Ghost. Samurai Odin has two swords intertwined in his hands, passing through like a cannonball. Even the elite of Roger's group are not good at it. They were all bounced away by Odin's moves. It's just as strong as the rumors say. Copper Jabba drew the twin axes behind him. Want to stop him as soon as possible. Rayleigh. Let's do it. Rayleigh unsheathed his sword. The left and right hands are about to attack. At this time, the sound of brisk footsteps suddenly sounded. Wait a minute, Jabba, Rayleigh, as the captain, I can't let you get hurt. Roger trotted over with a childlike pace, passing Jabba and Rayleigh. You just want to do it yourself. Rayleigh and the two couldn't help but complain. However, they each took back their weapons. At the same time, the distance between Roger and the warrior Odin is also constantly shortening. The smell of beast. Kazuki Odin clenched the two swords in his hands. Every cell in the body is in an active and alert state. Hello, samurai, Roger grinned. Ace, the supreme sharp sword, was unsheathed. Each other. The distance between the two sides is still 10 meters. It is far from the distance that the sword can reach. However, Roger had already swung the knife. God avoids. Red lightning swirled around the blade of Roger's black sword. Odin's expression suddenly changed, sensing that great danger was approaching. The Tian Yu Zan and the black sword Yan Mo in his hands quickly tried to stop him. However, the red lightning and invisible power went straight through his defense and fell on him. Boom! A blazing white shock wave exploded. Ah! Odin opened his mouth wide and spit out a mouthful of blood unconsciously. Ah! In the shouting, Odin's body flew upside down like a cannonball. The force is dozens or hundreds of times stronger than cannonballs. Wherever you go along the way, one after another, the towering trees were smashed by Odin's flying figure. Finally, flying out hundreds of meters, Odin's figure sank heavily into the dark purple rock wall. His head was bleeding and he looked miserable. Click. Stones rolled down. Odin struggled and fell from the rock wall. His face was already full of shock and disbelief. What happened before? I can't accept this kind of thing. Odin took a deep breath, cheered up, then roared and attacked Roger again. At this time, suddenly there were footsteps in the sky. A tall voice came from the sky, over Odin's head, headed straight for Roger. The long-handled naginata, the supremely fast sword Kong Yunchi, was raised high. Come yet, Roger grinned. Put away your previous idleness. Red lightning flashed in his eyes. Boom. One step down. The ground exploded beneath his feet. Roger held the knife in both hands. The jet-black blade is wrapped with the strongest Conqueror's energy. Facing the tall figure falling from the sky, Roger didn't dare to underestimate him in the slightest. Tisk. Boom. Dazzling red and black lightning bloomed from the supreme swords of Roger and Whitebeard. Finally, the second of the 12 skills of the supreme sharp sword. Black sword ace and naginata Kong Yunchi collided, but did not touch. The first thing the blades collided with was the overlord energy of the two sea tyrants. The blades of the two supremely sharp knives are still half a meter apart. A bright circle lies between the injury and the injury. Terrifying red and black lightning burst out from it. Just a wisp of it was enough to make a big hole explode in the ground. Boom. Finally, it is the strongest collision between two ocean overlords in this era, and it explodes. The ground shook under their hockey blast. A huge hole opened in the sky under their collision. Endless dark clouds surged into the ravine. What kind of power is this? At this moment, Samurai Odin was completely stunned. The members of the second team who followed him were not even qualified to compete outside the 100-meter distance. Under the terrifying impact storm, he screamed and flew upside down. Hurry back, Rayleigh said in a deep voice. No one without two brushes can bear the hedging of those two people. 0. Jabba grinned, relaxed. The intense stalemate lasted for an unknown amount of time. Boom. I saw a bright beam of light rising into the sky. Pierced the cracked sky. The clouds in all directions collapsed. Wow. Endless rushing wind. Countless old trees are rising from the ground. Disintegrated and shattered in the storm. For a long time. Everything calms down. The smoke cleared. The center of the island battlefield riddled with holes. Whitebeard and Roger each stood with their swords in hand, grinning. Hoo la la la. You look very energetic, Roger. Whitebeard said. How long has it been since we last met, Newgate? Roger responded boldly. Hoo la 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 la. Ah ha 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 ha. The silly laughter of the two ocean tyrants standing at the top of the new world echoed under the sky for a long time. It contains the nostalgia of seeing each other again after a long separation, as well as other emotions. A good moment. Roger and Whitebeard's laughter suddenly stopped at the same time. Hand over all the treasures you have. This was followed by tit-for-tat declarations from the two captains. Roger pirates and Whitebeard pirates, all members attack. The all-out war between the two overlord pirate groups begins. Inch. Chapter 186. Catch all Luo Tuan and Bai Tuan in one fell swoop. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Kang. This is the confrontation between the Supreme Sharp Sword and the Supreme Sharp Sword. This is the re-collision between Black Sword Ace and Naginata Kumokiri. This is also the signal for the confrontation between the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. A fierce and evenly matched battle begins here. The twin swords of Beasta, the captain of the 4th division of the Whitebeard pirates, clashed with the harpoon of Sunbel, the senior member of the Roger pirates. The giant Seagull raised his head and knocked away several white pirates, and then received the shining collision of Diamond Josie, the captain of the 3rd Division, with his backhand. Roger's swordsmen, Taro and Spencer, all charged together, with blinding blood spurting out. Don't get too carried away. Marco, who counterattacked and became the captain of the Whitebeard pirates, transformed into a half-orc phoenix form. 007. Phoenix Seal. The blue phoenix claws stepped towards Luotuan's vice-captain, Pluton Rayleigh, with great force. However, facing Marco's onslaught, Rayleigh just calmly held out a finger. The index finger wrapped in the high-grade weapon color pressed against Marco's phoenix seal. I've always been serious, boy. Rayleigh smiled slightly. The high-grade armed color is filled with air. Marco the phoenix flew upside down. Base. A sharp claw targeted Rayleigh. There were dazzling sparks with the famous knife in Rayleigh's hand. My name is Teach. The young boy Blackbeard drank sullenly. The other side, Rakuyo, captain of the 7th Division with blonde hair and dreadlocks, waved the bolus in his hand. He mercilessly hit the 2 young interns not far away. Looking at the big mouth of the meteor hammer, it seemed to be resurrected. Buggy, the red-nosed boy, screamed in fright. Time passes bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, the all-out war between the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates came on the evening of the 3rd day. The sun sets. The fiery red color fills the sky and the earth. Above the sparkling sea, a Yu-Peng boat came slowly. On the boat, a man in a blue and white striped suit was riding a bicycle slowly. At this moment, island shore, the sound of clashing weapons was still heard. That was the battlefield between Kazuki, the 2nd in command of the Whitebeard pirates, and Copper Jabba, the 3rd in command of Roger's group. After 3 days of non-stop fighting, Odin's double swords and Jabba's double axes are both less powerful than before. This is also natural. The 3-day battle consumes a lot of their physical strength and spirit. After another collision between the 2 axes and the 2 knives, Odin and Jabba had a huge crisis warning at the same time for no reason. The 2 of them suddenly raised their heads in unison. A little golden light shines in the sunset, more dazzling than the sun. 8-foot beautiful Magatama, dazzling laser beams fell from the sky. A ball of dazzling sparks exploded on the coast. At the same time, Odin and Jabba were knocked upside down. Not waiting for the 2 to regroup. Extremely cold freezing air hits. Frozen time capsule. 2 small pill-like particles rolled down to their feet. They were completely frozen under the shocked and horrified gaze of Vice Admiral. However, just the next second, accompanied by a clicking sound, there were cracks in the ice on Jabba and Odin's bodies. It's amazing to be able to break free from humiliation so quickly. You are indeed an elite. Kuzan marveled. The words fell. The ice on the 2 men exploded. Hateful. Which bastard is that from somewhere? It's so cold lousy. As this ability Marines freeze boy. Odin and Jabba yelled angrily. He wanted to give a profound education to the culprit who interfered with their duel. Sudden. I just heard 2 snaps. A pair of handcuffs appeared without warning. They cuffed their left and right hands together. 2 people first. Roger smiled and spoke. Until then, Jabba and Odin finally noticed. I don't know when. There was one more person behind them. Very close. Very close. And that voice and breath. Very familiar. Very familiar. The 2nd and 3rd leaders of the 2 Overlord teams were trembling in unison at this moment, and were scared into 2 little quails. Luo. Senior Roger. Finally, Odin and Jabba looked back. As expected, I saw Roger behind me. A smile that was uglier than crying appeared on everyone's face. Senior Roger, what kind of wind brought you here this late at night? Jabba, who has always been unparalleled in appearance, is smiling all over his face. Master Roger, what are you doing? If you want to arrest him, it's enough to arrest just one person on the other side. You can also handcuff me. Isn't this the flood that flooded the dragon's temple? Samurai Odin couldn't laugh or cry. Roger just glanced at the 2 of them sideways and said nothing. Fight. Da me. The pretty little Rayleigh trotted up to 4.2 in front of the 2 of them, crossed their little hands and made a cross. Hiyori-chan, the uncles are not fighting, they are just competing and playing. Please tell Daddy and let us go. Jabba said kindly. This time, 4-year-old Robin and Hiyori made a cross together. Whoosh, whoosh. The sound of breaking through the sky and the sound of breaking through the wind came together. 5 figures in a row fell neatly behind Roger. From big to small. From tall to short. Lined up. They are Flash Vice Admiral Porsalino, Frozen Vice Admiral Kuzan, Katakuri, Rosinant and 12-year-old Gion. Let's go and kill the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. Chapter 187 Katakuri punches Shanks and kicks Blackbeard. Please subscribe. Advertise here. The 2 overlords of the New World. Roger pirates and Whitebeard pirates. This unknown overlord level all-out war lasted for 3 full days. Whether it is the senior leaders of the Roger pirates or the captains of the Whitebeard pirates. Both physical strength and mental strength have almost reached their limits. As for ordinary cadres and ordinary crew members, they had completely withdrawn from the game more than a day ago and were resting to recuperate. To this point, what kept them fighting was not the ownership of the treasure. Rather, they want to prove their belief that one side is better and stronger than the other side. Only, whether it is the squad leader of the Bai Tuan or the senior cadres of the Luo Tuan. No one expected it. At this moment, third-party forces have already intervened. Prepare to hunt. Everyone on the island. Kang. Swords clash. Foil Beasta, it's almost time for you to exit. Luo Tuanjianhao, who has a Taro hairstyle, smiles. I should leave after you. Roger's family. 23 inches. Foil Beasta, captain of the 5th Division, showed no sign of weakness. Dwang. Not far away. The two meteor hammers collided violently. That was the battlefield between Meyerpine, who was dressed like a Viking, and Rakyo, the captain of the White Regiment's 7th Division. This is the 3672nd time their bullets have collided. Other direction. Saki, the captain of the 4th team, and Spencer, the handsome man from the Luo team. Captain Bramank of Division 6 and Boxer Yanlong. Captain Namur of Division 8 and Fishman Sunbel. The battle between the cadre-level experts was going on arduously. At some point, the cadres of Luo Tuan and Bai Tuan who were fighting suddenly felt a reaction. Suddenly he looked up. Dazzling golden light shone in their sight. The next second, countless laser rays fell like raindrops. The cadres of Bai Tuan and Luo Tuan who were directly bombed were all in embarrassment and screaming strangely. Dad, something seems wrong. What happened to that exaggerated explosion? On the central battlefield, Diamond Josie, the captain of the 3rd Division, opened his eyes in shock. Chaozi just finished speaking. The extremely cold freezing air spread suddenly. The temperature in the air instantly dropped by dozens of degrees. Noston, who was facing Josie, looked back and took a shot. The right hand penetrated Kuzan's body. However, the ensuing extreme cold quickly froze his arms. Sparkling crash. Josie, who had been tit for tat not long ago, now decisively came to his aid. Crash Kuzan's frozen body into pieces. Thanks. Nozzle thanked him. Don't worry, our battle is not over yet. How can you let others get in the way? Josie said in a deep voice. Yohohoho, the freezing power is even colder than my underworld cold air. As expected, you are the only one, Marine Freeze Vice Admiral Kuzan. With only a handful of bones left, Brook pulled out the umbrella knife in his hand and pointed it directly at Kuzan's back. And that laser explosion from before. Stop hiding, Marine's obscene flash. Marco spread his wings, transform into a phoenix and charge forward. One type of upside-down gold hook. Kick to Porcelino's shoulder. Phoenix Marco, it's so scary. Porcelino pouted obscenely. The index finger of his right hand was stretched out, and the fingertips were shining brightly. A bit of laser penetrated Marco's body. It's completely useless. Marco didn't dodge. Let the laser penetrate your body. The figure whirled up to the sky above Kizaru. The two phoenix claws kicked their legs violently. Kicked Porcelino to the ground. Whoosh. The light of the sword is sharp. Rayleigh's famous sword blessed with high-grade armed colors appeared from the sky. Porcelino was so frightened that he backed away 100 meters. Hula la la la, the two Vice Admiral guys from Marine dared to break into our battlefield. How brave they are. Whitebeard laughed deeply. Ah ha 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 ha, if you want to fight us, you alone are not enough. At least Garp and Sengoku need to work together to bring 5 more warships over. Roger Hockey's opening. It's really scary. Porcelino showed his usual vulgar expression of wanting to be beaten. Ah la la, if it is normal times, it should be like this, but now you Roger pirates and Whitebeard pirates are exhausted, right? Kuzan asked rhetorically. To deal with you who are so weak, why do we need Marine to send out a large force? Besides, who told you that there are only 2 of us? Porcelino smiled lewdly. Hear the words. It's not just Josie, Marco, Rayleigh, et al. Even Roger and Whitebeard were shocked. Although I said it lightly before. But what if Garp and Sengoku really brought in 5 warships today? Even if the 2 of them join forces, I'm afraid they will completely capsize. After all, after 3 days of fighting, the combat power of both of them is indeed approaching the limit. That's so mean, Marine. One pirate couldn't help but yell angrily. Porcelino and Kuzan both smiled slightly and didn't care at all. Marine reinforcements are coming. Along with the words of another pirate, he fell. A hole exploded in the forest. 2 boys and a girl, who looked about 12 or 3 years old, rushed out of the woods. Damn it, what's going on with this little brat? How hard is this barrier? My mace was smashed and I couldn't do anything to him. This little girl is not simple. The pirates, shocking shouts came one after another, one after another. People from all over the world took a good look at the arriving Guion and Rosinante. There was another explosion from the other direction. Several cadres and squad leaders from Luo Tuan and Bai Tuan flew upside down while shouting. A young man of about 17 years old walked out heroically. Carrying the struggling future 4 Emperor's red-haired Shanks in his hands. Between lifting your feet, the future 4 Emperor's Blackbeard Edward Teach was kicked dozens of meters away. For Katakuri, this may be the pinnacle of his life. Chapter 188 Katakuri's new ability, the magical beast Griffin. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Punch 4 Emperor's redhead Shanks. Kick 4 Emperor's Blackbeard Teach. Such a feat. It's not much better than King of Pirates Sig's, FK 4 Emperors with a bottle in hand and the future Pirate King on his feet. For Katakuri, this moment may be the peak of his life. Under Roger's teachings and the new fruit ability increase, Katakuri will be able to step into the Admiral level in the future. I'm afraid it's impossible to rub the red-haired Emperor of the Sea and Blackbeard on the ground like they are now. Asshole. Damn it. Where are you from? Let me go. Shanks struggled violently as Katakuri carried him like a chicken. His right leg kicked Katakuri like a steel whip, but it was unable to shake the partition. Asshole, let Shanks go. The red-nosed buggy roared angrily, held 3 knives between his fingers, and attacked Katakuri without fear. Even though Shanks is the least likely to deal with him on weekdays. But here comes the critical moment. The two of them are also partners who can support each other. Katakuri smiled widely. Just flick it. Shanks flew upside down and knocked over the attacking buggy. The two teenagers fell into a ball. Katakuri. Rocinante suddenly reminded loudly, I don't know when. Teach, the boy who was kicked away by Katakuri, was already behind him. The claw weapon on his hand flashed with a cold light. To this, Katakuri remained unfazed, because what he does best is observation hockey. As a man who can awaken the top level of knowledge and predict the future in the future. Of course he would not be unaware of the attack from behind. His intelligence had already detected Blackbeard's sneak attack. Wow, a pair of dazzling golden wings stretched out from behind Katakuri. Blackbeard's claws fell. There were fierce sparks with the golden wings behind Katakuri. The golden field seemed to be made of steel. Following Katakuri's thought. The golden wings behind him stirred up, bringing up a gust of wind that roared in all directions, sending Blackbeard into the sky again. Roar. Carrot. There was an explosion like the roar of a mythical creature. Katakuri's body underwent drastic changes. It won't take long. A Kamui fearsome legendary beast appears. He has the body and claws of a lion, the king of the earth. At the same time, he possesses the head and wings of the eagle, the lord of the sky. This is Katakuri's new ability. The zone bird fruit, the same model as former Marine Marshal Cook, has the ability to form a griffin species. I have been in the pirate world for so many years. Of course Roger is not fooling around in vain. Over the years, I have been traveling here and there, traveling all over the country. Captured numerous pirate groups, large and small. I have also intercepted world government many times. In particular, the Valley of Gods battle has acquired the devil attribute to this day. Roger's devil fruit collection efficiency is getting higher and higher. He also discovered the special power of the demon attribute. One was similar to what Roger had seen on the rocks. With the power of devil, he can sense the nearby devil fruit. Besides, Roger also discovered a second function of the demon power. With this power, he can communicate with the devil in the fruit. Learn its abilities without eating it. This is naturally an extremely convenient ability. With this skill, people around Roger will no longer open a blind box when eating fruits, but directly choose the most suitable power. There are currently a total of 216 devil fruit abilities stored in the 5.5 underground floors of Impel Down. Shankuo includes Zone, Paramesha, Logia, and even the Zone Phantom Beast species that is even rarer than Logia. All kinds of abilities are available. Porosalino's Logia Flash ability and Kuzan's Logia Frozen Fruit ability were also part of Roger's collection. A few years ago, the two became Vice Admirals. Roger gave it to them as a gift. In addition, there is the ability of the Phantom Griffin that Katakuri has shown now. And Rocinante's Paramesha Barrier Fruit ability. According to the original plot, Katakuri's special Paramesha Fruit's ability to predict the future is perfectly compatible with it. A seemingly ordinary glutinous fruit, Katakuri has developed it to an extremely advanced level. It can even touch upon awakening. This is perhaps the most suitable ability for Katakuri. Roger originally thought so too. That's why I didn't rush to set the fruit for Katakuri. 2 years ago, Roger finally got the special Paramesha Nuo fruit. However, when he introduced Katakuri, Katakuri showed little interest in his natal fruit. And expressed the ability he has always wanted, Zone Bird Fruit Magical Beast Griffin. Of course, Roger would not interfere excessively in the choice of disciples. Think about it carefully. Katakuri's choices must indeed be wiser. The special Paramesha Nuo fruit has an excellent compatibility with him. But the fruit itself also limits his strength. As a result, he could only hang around at the level of Emperor's deputy throughout his life. But if it is a magical beast griffin that is both offensive and defensive, there is no doubt that his strength can grow to the level of a heavenly general. So of course Roger was not stingy and directly gave the Phantom Griffin to Katakuri. Also, for Rocinante, Roger also prepared multiple fruits for him to choose from. Among them is the Paramesha Fruit of Silence. Of course Roger himself does not recommend this. After all, Luo Nanan Li Haojiao D is not a good match for this fruit. Finally, in the capacity of the plural, Rocinante's choice is Absolute Defense Paramesha Barrier Fruit. Because Rocinante has always been a kind boy, when given a choice, he did not hesitate to choose the barrier fruit that could protect others and act as a shield. Rocinante, who possesses the barrier fruit, will at least be able to protect himself if he meets his brother Doflamingo in the future and will not be killed instantly. Field Luck. Katakuri, who transformed into a mighty fantasy beast, the Griffin, flew up into the sky in the shock of the two pirates of Abai. I'm going to give Blackbeard Teach, the boy I don't like, a slap in the face. Lee, the cry of the phantom beast, which is also the fruit of the bird, sounded. The blue flames of the phoenix rushed over. A violent collision with Katakuri's Griffin. Interesting, let me meet you. Chapter 189 Griffin vs. Phoenix. Luo Bai Tuan Joint Banquet. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. What the hell is going on with that creature? Sure enough, it's Zone Devil Fruit's ability. But is that a lion or an eagle? None of them. I've seen it in a book. It's a mythical creature, the phantom beast griffin. Wow, does that mean that it is a zone fantasy beast species that is even rarer than Logia? Zone cat fruit phantom beast species griffin. No, it should be the bird fruit. This is a collision between phantom beasts and phantom beasts. Phoenix or griffin, who is the king of fantasy beasts? On the ground, the Roger pirates, the Whitebeard pirates, Rocinante, Gion and others were nervously watching the battle between the phantom beasts in the sky. For a time, even their own purpose was completely forgotten. It took a while. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard's loud laughter woke everyone up from the shock. 2 Logia, 1 phantom beast, the arms are really big, but if this is your entire lineup, you would be a little too underestimated of us. 387 Rayleigh spoke calmly. Ah ha ha ha, Marine will not send some children to encircle and suppress them, so that means. Roger looked at Gion and Rocinante, already guessing something. Hoo la la la, then let's get started. Hey, Roger, let's call it a day. Whitebeard said solemnly. I think so too. Roger nodded. As the 2 captains shook hands and made peace, the high-ranking officers of the Roger Regiment and the captains of the White Regiment, who were still fighting fiercely a second ago, all turned around. Surround Kuzan, Porcelino, Gion, and Rocinante, even if he didn't deliberately show off his momentum and killing intent. The girl Gion and the boy Rocinante, who were attracted by the big pirates, still couldn't help but turn pale. It's really scary. Surrender and surrender. Porcelino raised his hands to surrender. Ah la la. Kuzan sighed softly. Sure enough, it still doesn't work. If I had known, I would have brought senior brother Garp and senior brother Sengoku here too. Ha ha ha, aren't those 2 bastards Sengoku and Garp here? This is really good news. You are so brave. The cadres of Luo Bai Tuan are all enthusiastic. Prepare to give a good look to Porcelino and others who disturbed their mood. Teacher, there is nothing we can do. We have tried our best. Porcelino shouted at the top of his lungs. Teacher. The cadres of Luo Bai Tuan were all stunned. I wonder who this wretched old teacher is. Roger and Whitebeard still had smiles on their faces. I have already guessed the truth. Rayleigh and others looked at their captain's expression and understood, and then looked a little weird. The next second, in silence, a tall figure emerged like a breeze. Snapped. Flash. Vice Admiral Kizaru hits the street. You can't do anything right. You're the first in the theater. Zephyr has complained to me many times, Porcelino. Roger said calmly. Porcelino stopped eating on the spot. At the same time, everyone in the Luo Bai group was shocked and speechless. The dead silence lasted for a long moment. Alas alas. The screams of the members of the Overlord pirates echoed throughout the sky. Hoo la 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 la, daddy. Whitebeard laughed heartily. Ah ha ha ha, it is indeed a teacher. Roger also laughed happily. Roger, Whitebeard, you 2 CDBC bastards, you actually had a lot of fun this time. Roger smiled. Hey hey hey, the 2 overlords who stood at the top of the world both scratched their heads in embarrassment. Wait a moment. In the sky, the duel between Marco and the Katakuri Phantom Beast also came to an end. If I heard you correctly earlier, from Roger's regiment, what does your captain call our grandfather? Marco asked in surprise. Teacher, is there any problem? Everyone in Roger's group asked as a matter of course. Ever since. The next second. Alas alas. The members of the Whitebeard pirates started shouting in shock again. Teacher, Roger is also Grandpa's disciple. So does that mean Dad and Roger are brothers? Josie, Bista and others exclaimed in unison. Yes, don't you know? Everyone in Luo Tuan had strange expressions. We have never heard of such a thing. Quote. The eyes of everyone in the white group fell on Whitebeard. Hoo la 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 la, don't care. Don't care. It's banquet time next, kids. Whitebeard changed the subject. Oh, banquet. Roger's eyes lit up and he raised his arms and shouted. Little ones, the party can begin. Oh, when it comes to banquets. Everyone in Roger's group was in high spirits. Everyone happily started to make preparations. The originally tense atmosphere in the venue was instantly swept away. Driven by the enthusiasm of Roger pirates, everyone in the Whitebeard pirates also entered the state. Quickly, night falls. The bonfire is roaring. The aroma of fragrant barbecue fills the air. Roger pirates, Whitebeard pirates, Marine, 2 Vice Admirals and Impel Down. The 4 forces coexist harmoniously and celebrate together. By the way, why didn't I see Mr. Jabba? Shanks asked. Speaking of which, Odin seems to be missing too. Marco and others looked around, but they also didn't see Odin. At the same time, a corner of the island coast. Jabba and Odin sit back to back. A circle was drawn around the 2 of them. It represents an invisible prison from which one cannot escape. How long are we going to keep waiting here? Jabba spoke. I don't know, but I seem to smell something delicious. Odin said. Those guys must be having a party. No, then have we been forgotten? Oh, no. Chapter 190. Roger openly poaches Whitebeard. Please subscribe. Advertise here. The 4th day when the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates met. The joyful and noisy joint banquet continued. The robbery among the pirates turned into an exchange of gifts of equal value. The atmosphere in the venue was no longer tense, but rather enjoyable. Excluding the area for teenagers. At this moment, somewhere on the edge of the banquet, the 3 forces stand on a 3-legged basis. Straw Hat Boy Shanks and Red-Nosed Buggy hug each other. Opposite are the boy Teach, who has an amazing expression, and Marco, who is sleepy. On the last side were Katakuri, Guion, and Rosinante, who were eating donuts. Are those two guys interns from Roger's group? Young Teach asked. Marco opened his sleepy eyes, glanced at it, and nodded. Well, speaking of which, they were here a long time ago. It doesn't look very strong, right? Teach said arrogantly. The momentum is not bad. Katakuri added. Gudong. Red-nosed Buggy's Adam's apple rolled. Hey Shanks, do you see that guy in the hat? What happened to that guy? I saw it. That guy didn't seem to sleep at all during the truce yesterday and the day before yesterday. Why, are you proud of not sleeping? Little Shanks was puzzled. No, I mean I haven't fallen asleep since I was born. Said Little Buggy. Oh, is there such a kind of human being? It's great, then life will be twice as happy. Little Shanks said with longing on his face. Idiot, this is not a simple matter. That guy is a monster. Buggy said. Opposite, the young Teach's face gradually darkened. A monster that doesn't need to sleep. This is really rare. I'm afraid it's a rare beast, even rarer than my phantom beast ability. Katakuri spoke. Well, if you really can't sleep, should you go see Teacher Roger? Rosinante spoke weakly. Teacher Roger's medicine is really effective. When I couldn't sleep before, the teacher always helped me. Kind regards for Rosinante. The young Teach didn't appreciate it at all. The expression on his face became increasingly gloomy. Kang, sensing murderous intent, Guion subconsciously drew his sword out of its sheath. Shanks and Buggy are also ready. Stop, Teach, do you want to disobey Dad's captain's order? Don't start an unprovoked war. Marco admonished. Teach, Shanks, you guys are boring. Phoenix over there, are you interested in fighting me again? Katakuri grinned, without waiting for Marco to respond. Cemetery. The sky changes and the earth shakes. There was an overwhelming rattling sound in the atmosphere. A series of crisscrossing cracks filled the sky. Such a shocking change instantly attracted the attention of everyone present. The next second, whether it's the Roger pirates or the Whitebeard pirates, everyone's eyes widened in shock. Not because of the cracked sky. It was the tall, bent body of Overlord Roger. Please, Newgate, just for 1 year. Lend me the Odin. This is my once-in-a-lifetime request. As long as this guy is here, I will definitely be able to reach the last island. Roger knelt down in front of Whitebeard sincerely. Hey, what are you talking about to yourself? Odin was shocked. Hey, don't be like this, Captain Roger. Jabba screamed. What exactly is going on? Why did Captain Roger kneel to Whitebeard? What happened up there? Weren't you fine before? Everyone in Bai Tuan and Luo Tuan were inexplicably shocked. Yo ho ho ho, Mr. Roger, over there, over there. Brooke said. Roger just glanced at it and then ignored it. Then continued to explain the follow-up treatment to the ship's Dr. Crocus. Regarding the incurable disease contracted by my disciple Roger. Roger has already been preparing. It's just that even he is in the realm of a medical saint. After all, a true panacea cannot be created. I thought pure gold could solve Roger's problem. Unfortunately, the effect of pure gold in slowing down cell division is exactly opposite to Roger's condition. Is it really okay to just leave it alone? Those two willful captains only listen to you, Senior Roger. Crocus said. Please give me flowers. It doesn't matter if you leave those two bastards alone. Roger waved his hand carelessly. On the mushroom tree. Don't be like this, it's really outrageous. A man like you, don't be so humble. Odin said as he tried to help Roger, who was kneeling on the ground, to his feet. Please, Odin, just 1 year is enough, just stay with us. Roger looked at Odin pleadingly. Odin was at a loss. What a joke. Finally, Whitebeard couldn't help but speak out. Following his angry roar, the sea in all directions was shaken. Roger, are you going to take away my family from me? Whitebeard shouted. Time seemed to stand still at this moment. Waiting to flow again. The number of people kneeling in front of Whitebeard changed from 1 person to 2. Bai Shaoji, can you let me go? I want to see the last island this guy mentioned. Kazuki Odin requested. Whitebeard was stunned. An expression of extreme reluctance immediately appeared on his face. Of course I'm not happy. You and I are brothers. Whitebeard growled. I'm only going for a year, Bai Shaoji, it's true. Although his heart was telling him not to leave without permission, Odin's mouth was completely out of control of his thoughts and he expressed his true thoughts to the public. Whitebeard went mad. The sky and sea were shattered. It's really scary, nah. Poor Salino pouted. Ah la la, senior brother Whitebeard, you really don't want to face each other in the future. Kuzan sighed. Finally, a request for seniors and brothers. Whitebeard still agreed. The joyful banquet ended unhappily because of Roger's blatant poaching. After saying goodbye, the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates set sail separately. Then let's go back to the headquarters to report first. Kuzan rode his bicycle, and poor Salino flew directly into the sky. Roger, let's meet on that island next time. The corner of Roger's mouth curled up. Again, Chapter 191 The Final Island Raftals, Aboriginals. Open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. The sky is gray. The city is dry and desolate. A wisp of mist enveloped the earth. Everything here becomes hazy. Everything is like that dreamy bubble, like the flower in the mirror, the moon in the water, elusive. Even in the pirate world with tens of millions of bizarre islands. This place and this island is definitely the most mysterious existence, bar none. There seems to be an invisible hand hiding the existence of this island from the world. Since ancient times, 800 years, only one group of people successfully reached the island. This is the end of the Grand Line. The final island. Laugh Tale, Raftel, the ruined ancient kingdom city. Suddenly there was the sound of soft footsteps echoing. A faint light lit up in the hazy mist. Several people dressed as farmers carried hoes to several cultivated vegetable fields and worked hard. In the heart of a run-down city. From time to time there would be cheers. Add some vitality to this lifeless city. At some point. My lord, madam and everyone, something serious has happened. Pirates have landed on this island. At this moment. The sea is only a few miles away from the final island. A little light lit up from the fog. Immediately afterwards. A large three-masted sailboat gradually revealed its true appearance. The cannon on the bow is held up by two mermaids. A bearded skull flag hung like the waves of the sea hung from the mast. That is the flag that symbolizes freedom. That is also the flag of Roger Pirates. Roger, Captain, we finally found it. The end of the Grand Line. The true final island. This is an unheard of feat. Have we truly conquered the Grand Line? Ah, yes, our Roger Pirates are the conquerors of the Grand Line. All the crew members of the Roger Pirates were excited and talking a lot. Ah, we finally arrived. Roger leaned against the bow of the boat, with an excited look on his face. A year ago, borrowed the warrior Odin from Whitebeard. The Roger Pirates start again. Start at Twin Heads. Passed through the golden land of Sky Island, the capital of Seven Waters, Sabayati Islands, the Fishman Island, and finally returned to the New World. After that, I walked through Wano-kuni, Elephant Island Zoo and Linlin's Cake Island to borrow road sign rubbings. It lasted a year. The Roger Pirates finally located the coordinates of the final island. After a series of post-positioning work, they overcame the last difficulties and obstacles and came to this island. All the truth and secrets will be revealed before their eyes. This moment is historic, sudden. Hey, Captain Roger, everyone, look over there. I think I saw someone running away. Also, there seems to be traces of human activity on the shore. On the observation deck, a crew member said in surprise. How come? This is the real final island. How could there be someone? We are the first to arrive in 800 years. Yeah, ha ha ha, if there are really people, maybe they are the aborigines of this island. Rayleigh said with a smile. Aboriginals of the final island. Do they really exist? Such a harsh environment. Jabba expressed some disbelief. But if they are really aborigines, then they are most likely the descendants of that huge kingdom. Odin's eyes lit up. Ahahaha, who knows? If you want to know for sure whether they are aborigines, just go and have a look. Roger laughed. The pirate ship Oro Jackson is anchored on the coast of the island. Then Captain, is it time for free activities again? What a huge treasure the huge kingdom of 800 years ago left behind. There must be a lot of gold and treasure mountains. I cannot wait anymore. Everyone in Roger's group is gearing up and eager to try. Everyone wait. Rayleigh raised his hand to call everyone. This is the last adventure. Let's walk slowly and watch together. Roger smiled. What a final adventure. Even if we conquer the Grand Line, our adventure will not end. Really, Captain Roger, what are you talking about? But since Captain Roger said so, let's act together. Ah ha ha ha, I'm afraid of running away. Then let's go. Roger apologized and walked towards the ruined kingdom first. Wherever you pass along the road, ancient historical sites and cultural relics can be seen everywhere. Everything is perfectly preserved. At the same time, go further inside. The traces of human existence are also heavier. Roger and his team are very sure. There are people here, and the other party doesn't seem to be an aborigine here. Because if it is an aboriginal person, not even a stone statue on the roadside is surrounded by a fence and well protected. Just when everyone in Roger's group was talking about it. Not far from the trail, two middle-aged men and women came over discussing. It seems to be because I am too obsessed with historical discussions. Until you get close, only then did they discover the existence of the Roger Pirates. Looking at the pirate who suddenly appeared in front of him. The two middle-aged men and women were immediately frightened and turned pale. You, who are you? Why are you here? The middle-aged man asked stammeringly. This is our problem. Yes, tell us quickly, who are you? He must be an aborigine of this island. Everyone in Roger's group asked eagerly, wanting to know the answer. We are. West Blue, come. Don't wait for the middle-aged man to finish. Ah. Among the crowd, Odin shouted. 3.3 inches I remember you are the West Blue scholar who once came to our Wano-kuni. Odin spoke in surprise. Ahem, are you, Mr. Odin, the great name of Guri? Scholars also recognized Odin. Yeah, Odin nodded repeatedly. Alas, now it was everyone's turn in Roger's group to be confused. Odin, do you know these two people? Scholars from West Blue, what's going on? This is the final island. How can scholars find it? Yes, even we finally arrived after a lot of hard work. Everyone in Roger's group was shocked. Ah ha 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 ha. Roger suddenly smiled. He has figured it all out. As expected of a teacher. I'm still far behind. Chapter 192 Pirate King Roger. Big Secret Treasure One Piece. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Alas, you are really scholars from West Blue. And have been here for a whole year. Hey ho ho ho, Ohara, the island of scholars, I know this place. It's really unbelievable that someone arrived at this final island a year ago. In this way, we will not be unprecedented. Thinking of this, the members of Roger's group couldn't help but feel a little bored. But how did you scholars find this island? Even if you can interpret the historical text, the dangers on this road are not something ordinary people can overcome. Kadri Taro expressed his confusion. The person who answered him was not Ohara's scholar, but Vice Captain Rayleigh. It is true that this journey has been difficult, and even we had a narrow escape, but if the person behind the scholars is that person, everything will be natural. Rayleigh sighed quietly. Indeed, if it's that person, no matter what he does, I won't be too surprised. Odin nodded in agreement. Who is that? 23. Mr. Lay. Odin, stop playing charades. Mu Lien and others said anxiously. Ha ha ha, haven't you thought about it yet? In this world, the only one who can collect all the road signs before us and get here is Senior Roger. Jabba laughed. Alas alas, Roger Senpai. Lord Roger. Is it really that gentleman? Everyone in Roger's group was once again shocked beyond measure. Ah ha ha, Captain Roger smiled. No matter when, there is always a huge gap between me and the teacher. Everyone of the Roger pirates, please come this way. Your Excellency is already waiting. A man dressed as a waiter appeared and led the way for the Roger pirates. About 10 minutes later, Roger and everyone came to the dilapidated temple in the dilapidated capital of the dilapidated kingdom, the Temple of the Sun. Roger, I've been waiting here for a long time. Roger grinned. Really, teacher, if you had found it a long time ago, you would have told me. We have been running around here and there all these years, but we have suffered a lot. Roger smiled. Yeah, everyone in Roger's group laughed and responded. HMPH, do you really think so? Roger asked rhetorically. Roger and everyone were stunned for a moment, and then laughed together again. The exploration, adventure, and journey to this point are also our most precious treasures. If the teacher really tells us the shortcut, I will definitely find someone with memorization ability to memorize the value of the branch. Roger said. So, Orvia clapped her hands. Everyone, I will do it next. Roger raised his hand to interrupt. Go, Roger, forget about our existence, and enjoy the end of your journey. Yes, Teacher Roger. 2 hours later, Orvia, I just heard the sound of many people laughing. Is that the Roger pirates laughing? Why are they laughing? The scholars in Ohara couldn't help but ask curious questions. In response to the questions from her companions, Orvia just shook her head in confusion. A year ago, under the leadership of Roger, they finally set foot on the island. Learned all the mysteries of the world hidden here, including the blank 100 years of history. But that time, as scholars, they feel only solemnity and solemnity. So much so that I stood in awe in front of that rich history. This is their normal performance of history as archaeologists. So the laughter of Roger pirates can't help but make them confused. Why are they laughing? Could it be that there is something here that they haven't seen? Something only those who have truly conquered the Grand Line can see. Joyboy, I really want to be born in the same era as you. Ah ha ha ha, I actually left such an incredible treasure behind. What a big joke. Roger laughed with tears all over his face. Teacher Roger, everyone, this island, this last island, why not call him this name? Raftel. ... Excuse me, all around the world. Each island, every town, countless newspapers fell from the sky. Spread throughout every corner of the world. Inform everyone in the world of the unprecedented event. Finally, the Roger pirates conquered the Grand Line. The first Grand Line conqueror in 800 years is born. He is the real overlord of the sea. He is the pirate king. Wow, the 4 seas, the southeast, the northwest, the first half of Grand Line, the paradise, and the second half, New World. Countless people were shocked and in an uproar at the birth of the pirate king. Naval headquarters. What the hell, Roger? These news agencies are really outrageous. From the beginning to the end, that bastard Roger's name is D. The same D as me. Marine hero Vice Admiral Garp spoke angrily. Say less, Garp. This is the meaning of world government, the will of D, the old enemy of the celestial dragons. Don't show off your D too much in the future. Sengoku advised. The man who has fame, wealth, power, and the one piece of everything in this world. Roger, the pirate king. No matter what, the world will be in chaos from now on. Thieves on the sea have a common goal. Vice Admiral Xiaohei said. 967 inches HMPH, I can only arrest that bastard Roger. Now is the time to attack. Garp grinned. Wait, Garp, we have to wait for Marshal Kong first. A certain calm sea area in New World. A huge whale ship moored quietly. Daddy, big news. Roger and his guys actually did it. And Odin. Damn it, I'm a little bit unwilling. If we hadn't lent Odin to Roger, they would have. Yes, otherwise, Dad will be the pirate king by then. Listening to the discussion of the sons on the deck. Looking at the freshly baked newspaper in his hand. Whitebeard Edward Newgate's mouth curved slightly. All around the world, countless pirates set sail. Get ready to hunt for the Pirate King and the one piece of connected treasure. But, nobody knows. Completed an unprecedented feat. Around the world, conquered the Grand Line, the legendary pirate group that made the name One Piece possible. There was no action after that. Just disappear without a trace. Roger Pirates, Iron. Chapter 193. The Roger Group is disbanded. The Pirate King surrenders. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. The night before the Roger Pirates disbanded. Oro Jackson's deck. One Piece. All members of the Roger Pirates held their last grand banquet. People laughed at the birth of the Pirate King. At the same time, I also cried for the upcoming separation. Roger, do you remember? The first time we met? Rayleigh asked. Ah, how could we forget that we are going to overturn the world together? Roger smiled. He also said that our meeting was fate. Rayleigh handed Roger his bottle of wine. Roger took it and took a sip boldly. That promise has been fulfilled. Of course. Rayleigh smiled contentedly. We came too early. One Piece. Who will discover it next? That must be my son. Roger said. You haven't at all. It will happen in the future. Ha 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 ha. Yoshi, everyone, let's have a good drink together and head towards the sea where there is no marine. I want to be the first to get off the boat. After the carnival comes farewell. The next morning. Oro Jackson anchored on an unknown island. Roger, the Pirate King, picked up his luggage and waved goodbye to his friends with his back turned. The farewell of One Piece does not require tears. So no one in the Roger Pirates cried. No one. Everyone just accidentally got a brick in their eye. That's all. 1 month later. Without Captain Roger, the Roger Pirates send Samurai Odin back to Wano. Another month. The number of members on the ship gradually decreased. Then, people finally confirmed this earth-shattering news. Why? How? Why? The overwhelming news birds once again spread to every corner of the world with overwhelming news. Big news. Big event. One Piece. One Piece. Roger's pirates have been disbanded. Pirate King Roger disbanded his pirate group. Nani? Why does this happen? Hey, are you kidding me? The Roger Pirates have disbanded. What kind of joke is this? Roger has clearly become the Pirate King, so why hasn't he taken any further action? As long as he gives a signal, there will be countless heroes waiting to defect to him. I'm still waiting for him to raise his arms and build a huge group that can subvert the world. Yes, at that time, we can also see the true face of the great secret treasure. But why? Damn Roger, what a coward. He must have known that the man with a bounty of 30 million berry was about to take his head, so he was so scared that he disbanded the pirate group overnight. No, this kind of thing is absolutely impossible, Captain. Because that Pirate King's bounty is as high as 5.5 billion Baileys. The Roger Pirates have been disbanded, so how are we going to find the legendary secret treasure? Naval Headquarters. Damn it, what the hell is that bastard Roger trying to do? Even if we are disbanded, the grudge between me and him will not end here. Garp smashed the corner of the table angrily. Garp, control yourself. Admiral Sengoku reminds. Xiaohei, have you found the whereabouts of Roger? Garp asked. The last sighting was 3 days ago. Judging from his direction of travel, I'm afraid he is looking for Whitebeard. Vice Admiral Xiaohei said. Nani. New world. The Whitebeard Pirates' territorial waters. A beautiful island with flying sakura flowers. The two overlords of the new world sat opposite each other and drank. Roger, you said you were going to die. Are you kidding me? Whitebeard's voice rose slightly. It's true, there aren't many days left. Roger said calmly. Don't be ridiculous, you should have received that thing from Dad. With pure gold, you can at least live to be 100 years old. Whitebeard said. Pure gold doesn't solve everything, Newgate. Then go find Dad. Dad will definitely. Teacher Roger, I've already seen it. Even if you are a teacher, there are still things you can't do. Whitebeard was silent. Ah ha ha ha. Let's not talk about this anymore. Newgate, do you want me to tell you how to raftle? Roger smiled complacently. Even if I knew, I wouldn't go because I'm not interested. Whitebeard said solemnly. 2 hours later, One Piece. Roger's last meeting with Whitebeard. Newgate ends. Roger walked towards the boat on the shore with drunken steps. Not far away, the people in the Whitebeard Pirates looked at Roger with shock, confusion and curiosity on their faces. Cemetery. Roger stopped. His eyes swept over everyone in the confession group, and finally settled on Yizang. By the way, Izo, Odin asked me to tell you that I will ask you to take care of Whitebeard from now on. Roger shouted loudly. Oh, Lord Odin. Azang was stunned. Marco and others also froze. Odin. Captain Odin. Pirate King Roger, where is Captain Odin now? Nollies, why didn't he come along? All the pirates in the white group shouted one after another. Roger burped. Nothing was said. Lopsided. Daddy. Marco, who transformed into a phoenix, rushed over. Judging from Roger's reaction, Odin has probably returned to China. Should we go to Wano to see him? Just leave him alone, that wayward brother, I don't want to see him. Whitebeard said angrily. Quality. Winter passes and spring comes. Unknowingly. Time has come to see Circle Calendar 1598. This year. A major event that shocked and stunned the world happened again. The Pirate King Gall D. Roger has reappeared under the eyes of the world after disappearing for a whole year. Pirate King Roger took the initiative to come to Impel Down, surrender. Chapter 194 One Piece Roger invades Impel Down. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. See Circle Calendar 1498. The calm belt is as calm as ever. The warm sunshine shines on the sea. Occasionally, a sea king jumps out of the sea, bringing up rippling ripples in circles. Everything was so peaceful and peaceful. Until a certain moment. Doo-doo-doo. The piercing siren echoed under the calm belt sky for a long time. The 20 warships guarding Impel Down moved together. The sailors are all in a state of first-level war preparation. What happened? What happened? The sailors who were taking a break filed out of the cabin. Enemy attack. Marine Rear Admiral's voice echoed throughout the army. Enemy attack. Isn't Director Roger back this time? Some people are confused. It was customary to treat Roger as returning from an outing. After all, it has always been like this over the years. Wrong. The person coming is. The people on that boat are. One Piece. Gold Roger. The sailors on the observation deck widened their eyes and screamed at the top of their lungs. As his words fell, 520 with the identification of the people on the boat. The warships preparing for war all stopped. The next second, the sky-high din exploded. Ripples form on the calm belt sea. One Piece Roger. The pirate king who has disappeared for a year. Why is he here? Can anyone tell me what's going on? The sailors roared with shock and disbelief, looking at the pirate king Roger who was already within shooting range. No sailor could remain calm. There's no time for surprise. The whole army is ready for artillery attack. A Marine Rear Admiral raised the shelling flag in his hand and waved it without hesitation. Bang 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 bang. The roar of cannons filled the air. Densely packed, overwhelming black cannonballs fell. Enough to destroy any warship. However, the boat with one person sitting on it never capsized. Let the rain of cannons fall from the sky. It can never be shaken even a little bit. CDAF. Somewhere, it was as if the power of God was protecting the boat. It shielded him from all the storms. No, I can't stop it. This is the power of the Pirate King. This is the Pirate King Roger. Notify Naval Headquarters quickly. The headquarters has already notified you, but it was too late. What we should be notifying now is Impel Down. Yes, if it is Director Roger, he will definitely be able to block it. The sailors had great hopes in their hearts. Wow. The calm waters of the calm belt suddenly produced violent waves. The two warships that originally blocked the entrance to Impel Down dispersed to both sides driven by the waves. The sailors on the warship could only watch as the Pirate King Roger's boat sailed into Impel Down. Finally landed at the connecting bridge. Click. The prison door opens. Groups of heavily armed jailers filed out. The leaders are the wardens Magellan and Katakuri. Snap. Snap. Firearms loaded. The jailers nervously held the weapons in their hands, aiming at the Pirate King not far away, ready to shoot at any time. Don't act rashly at all. Katakuri ordered solemnly. Put down the weapon. Everyone retreat. Magellan immediately ordered. He and Katakuri have been close friends since childhood. Believe in each other's actions unconditionally and without reason. Hey, Katakuri, we meet again. Roger greeted warmly. Master Roger. No, Pirate King Roger, what do you want to do now? Even the teacher can't. Katakuri pursed his lips, his face full of seriousness. One Piece Roger blatantly invades Impel Down. This is destined to be a front-page headline tomorrow. And Roger who did such a thing, even if he wanted to be sheltered, he would have to pay a huge price. The worst result. Pirate King, what on earth do you want to do here today? Magellan asked seriously. Don't worry, I'm not here to fight today. I surrender myself. Roger raised his hands and motioned for Katakuri to put the shackles on him. Surrender. Listen to the word Roger said. Whether it was Katakuri, Magellan, or everyone present, they were all shocked. Pirate King, One Piece Roger, who conquered the Grand Line and gained everything in the world, actually surrendered. What kind of joke is this about the sea? Pirate King Roger, stop joking. Do you think we will believe your lies? You must want to take the opportunity to sneak into Impel Down and cause trouble. Katakuri snapped. As I said before, our legendary director of Impel Down happens to be here today. If you know what's going on, hurry up and go back and forth from where you are. If you are late, it will be too late. Katakuri threatened. The threat is of course not really a threat. He just wanted Roger to give up the idea of surrendering and escape after he sobered up. Only, stop talking nonsense. When I say you surrender, you surrender. Hurry up and give me a copy. Roger took 2 steps forward. But neither Katakuri nor Magellan dared to act rashly. Time seems to be silent here. I don't know how much time has passed. Only a snapping sound was heard. A pair of handcuffs fell on Roger's hands. Same time, a tall figure appeared silently. Oh. It's Director Roger. Director Roger is here. One Piece. The Pirate King has been arrested. He is truly the legendary director of Impel Down. You conquered that Pirate King so easily. But I think that Pirate King seems to have surrendered himself. Don't be ridiculous. Director Roger's Kamui must have completely suppressed him. On the warships in all directions, cheers from the sailors broke out one after another. Really, it's too slow. It should have come a long time ago. Roger smiled. You bastard, just die outside and I'll be free of worries. Hey. Chapter 195 Big news that shocked the world. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Toot toot. Shrill sirens also echoed over Naval Headquarters Marineford. What did you say? Pirate King Roger shows up. And it's still Impel Down. That Roger had the audacity to invade Impel Down alone. What does he want to do? Is it possible that you want to rescue your captured comrades? No, I haven't heard that any of the Pirate King's comrades have been arrested. Then, why did that man appear in Pushing City? I can't figure it out. I really can't figure it out. The shocking uproar and discussion of the sailors of this headquarters resounded through the sky. It's not just the low-level sailors. Naval Headquarters executives. At this moment, I can't remain calm. Damn it, Roger, what on earth are you going to do? Marshal Kong gritted his teeth. But don't worry, Teacher Roger is still in Impel Down and hasn't gone out. Vice Admiral Xiaohe said, this is really good news. With that person here, even Roger will never be able to cause any trouble. That's right, the Impel Down who is guarding it is the real impregnable wall. I believe that by now, the Pirate King should have been arrested. The Vice Admirals who gathered in an emergency breathed a sigh of relief. The words just fell. Brew brew brew. The phone buzzed urgently. Marshal Kong quickly got through. Marshal Kong, this is Impel Down Garrison Rear Admiral. Just now, Pirate King Roger has been arrested. Repeat, Pirate King Roger has been arrested by Director Roger. Well, I understand. Marshal Kong nodded heavily. Take a deep breath. The ravine between his eyebrows and eyes has still not been healed. Marshal Kong, do you have any other questions? Isn't it a good thing that the Pirate King has been arrested? Doberman, Huo Shaoshan and other Vice Admirals asked in confusion. Marshal Kong said nothing, just waved his hand, so only Sora and Vice Admiral Suru were left in the Marshal's office. The atmosphere became increasingly solemn. Marshal Kong's eyebrows also became increasingly dark. For the reasons, Vice Admiral He, the chief advisor, knows it all too well. Because both she and Sora knew, clearly aware of the relationship between Roger and Roger. That's why it becomes more confusing. Follow the general process. Capture Roger the Pirate King. They Marine must be promoting it. Then a public execution was announced. Take this opportunity to combat the arrogance of pirates and demonstrate Marine's prestige and statement. But if you want to do this, you must first pass Roger. If Roger didn't nod in agreement, then it is absolutely impossible to implement it. Certainly, Marine they can support another set of plans. For example, imprison Roger permanently in Impel Down. But Marshal Kong knew, the world government will never accept this result obediently. This way, what follows may be the most powerful conflict in history. I'll contact Garp and Sengoku first, and then we'll go Impel Down together after everyone is here. Vice Admiral Xiaohe stood up. Take that personal phone bug out of your pocket. Not long after, the phone bug answered, when I learned about the surrender of the Pirate King that happened in Impel Down not long ago. There was silence on the other end of the phone. The next second. What did you say, Roger? That bastard Roger turned himself in. Garp's voice reaches the sky. Hey, Xiaohe, are you kidding me? Sengoku's incredulous face appeared in the phone bug. I don't have to joke with you, Xiaohe said in a deep voice. Wait, I'm going to Impel Down right now. In fact, the world government's actions are faster and more violent than Marshal Kong imagined. It was almost 10 minutes after the news of One Piece Roger's surrender came out. Several news agencies secretly controlled by the world government are firing on all cylinders. Half an hour later, countless news birds fly to the world with countless hot news newspapers. Holy Land Mariajoy, the meeting hall of the five elders. Ha 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 ha, the five most powerful people in the world laughed again. This is really hard to find even if you have worn iron shoes, and it takes no effort at all to get there. Please give me flowers. One Piece Roger actually surrendered himself. This is really the greatest good thing of this era. Yes, compared to the previous Rocks and Redbeard, this is the best Sea Overlord to deal with. The only problem now is that man. We have found out that the relationship between him and Roger is absolutely very close. I am afraid that we will not let him go too easily. What if he insists on holding on to Roger? Why don't you go to Impel Down to rob someone? The blonde five elders said worriedly. Bald birthmark five elders snorted coldly. If he dares to block the execution, that would be the best. This is going against the world and the people. At that time, if we reveal the hidden relationship between him and Roger, many people will believe it. At that time, the heroic halo will be taken off from his head. Wonderful, the samurai five elders and others' eyes lit up. Then just wait for the show to begin. With the help of world government. One Piece Roger went straight to Impel Down and surrendered. In just 2 or 3 hours, it spread to many major countries, towns, and forces around the world. Excuse me, Pirate King Roger appears. One Piece Roger surrendered. There will be a public execution soon to serve as a warning to Wu. Wow, the regions and people who were the first to receive this big news were all shocked and shouted in uproar. New World Sphinx. The giant smiling whale ship Moby Dick sits quietly at anchor. People's uproar and shouts broke the silence here. Daddy, look, big news, Roger actually surrendered. What on earth is going on in that man's head? You're so good, why do you want to surrender? I really can't figure it out. Did that guy Roger go out this morning without taking his medicine? Marco, Josie, Beasta and other division captains were all shocked and talking. Hoo la 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 la. The heroic laughter dispersed the clouds in the sky. Roger, you are really one step ahead of me in everything. Chapter 196 Roger Tuogu. Shocking Eternal Hell. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. The incident of One Piece surrendering continues to ferment. The world is going berserk. However, at this moment, Impel Down, the deep-sea prison at the center of the storm, is calm. One Piece's imprisonment did not change the atmosphere of the prison much. Everything is business as usual. The only difference is the 5.5 floors underground. A warm and special family dinner is underway. You are Roger, Roger's first disciple, the Pirate King, is really awesome. The witch lady warmly welcomed me. Come on, Roger, hurry up and eat the food. These are carefully prepared by your teacher. Miss Tia smiled and spoke. Yes, thank you very much. Roger nodded politely in thanks. Ah, I have long heard that the mothers of Master 810 are young and beautiful, but I have never had time to visit them. When I saw them today, they are indeed well deserved. Roger was generous with his praise. Tia and Miss Witch both smiled happily. Eat, just eat. Why are you talking so much? Hurry up and finish. I will send you to eternal hell later. Roger said angrily. Ah ha ha ha, yes yes yes. Roger smiled and agreed. Sir Roger, I really want to. Dad, Uncle, Orvia, Robin, Hiyori and others all looked worried. They are really cute children, Robin and Hiyori. Speaking of which, Mr. Roger, I have one last thing to ask you. The look on Roger's face gradually became serious. Explain. Roger scratched his head in embarrassment. Actually, I am about to have a child, but with an irresponsible father like me, the child will definitely be very troubled, so I would like to ask teacher Roger to help me take care of it. The words fell. The restaurant was silent. The next second. Hey, Roger, are you going to have a child? Tia was surprised. But why? The expression on Miss Witch's pretty face also changed. Since you are already concerned, why do you still do this kind of thing? Why can't you stay with the child to take care of him? You know that a father like you will bring trouble to the child and the child's mother. The more Miss Witch spoke, the more excited she became. Because Roger's behavior is exactly the same as that of her father Grant. She unconsciously thought of her past. Then enter the future of Roger's children. Until Tia reminded me, Miss Witch finally calmed down. But the look he looked at Roger was full of dissatisfaction. Roger scratched his head sheepishly again. If possible, of course I would like to wait until the child is born and grows up, but I am going to die soon. Roger smiled. When it comes to death, the look on his face was still as calm as ever. Everyone present was also very aware of Roger's incurable disease. Don't be so pessimistic. Your teacher is already working hard on a treatment plan, right? Roger, how long will it take for you? Tia asked. 10 years. Roger said calmly. As a result, the atmosphere of the restaurant became stagnant again. I have no time. In this last limited time, how can I make this life burn with the brightest light? This is my choice, so please don't stop me, teacher Roger. Roger's solemn request. I know that my willfulness will bring greater chaos to the world, but only in this way can I bring opportunities for change to this twisted world. Everything is destined. Everything is guided by fate. This is my mission. Mission? Ah, Orvia's expression dimmed slightly, and she couldn't help but admire Roger. As someone who knows all of history, both she and the scholars of Ohara are in a state of confusion. After knowing everything, they don't know how to go next. But Roger has found his own way. And this is the path only he can lead. Fate. I never believe in fate. Roger shook his head seriously. Ah ha ha ha, that's true. Of course I know very well how powerful the teacher is, but teacher, you no longer have the energy you had when you were young. Roger said. If it were the past, Roger will definitely beat up this unfilial disciple who dares to talk about his teacher. But this time, Roger was silent, non-committal, ever since Robin and Hiyori were connected by blood. He is no longer the Shiro Yakusha who was fearless. Don't dare to put all your money in, give it a try. Thanks for the treat, I'm full. Teacher, let's go. Roger smiled. You won't die. Roger took a deep breath and spoke seriously. Roger was puzzled. Whether it's 10 years or 20 years, I will borrow it for you. Just wait and see in the future. Roger said. This is really exciting, teacher Roger. Eat and drink enough. The family dinner on the 5.5th floor underground is over. As the director, Roger personally escorted Roger to the Eternal Hell, the 6th underground floor of Impel Down. Snap. When the iron gates of Eternal Hell open, Director Roger appears. The originally noisy Eternal Hell suddenly fell silent. The rebellious Golden Lion also suspended his lobbying against the prisoners. 2.6 However, the next second. After seeing Roger next to Roger, the prisoners' eyes widened involuntarily. The emotion called shock dominated their whole bodies in an instant. Many prisoners unconsciously raised their hands and rubbed their eyes to confirm that they had not seen wrongly. That man is indeed the unprecedented Pirate King. Gall D. Roger, One Piece, was arrested. Ahahaha, hello everyone, we will be inmates from now on. Roger laughed warmly and greeted. The words fell. There was another unspeakable silence. Roger. Golden Lion Shiki's roar was the first to blast Eternal Hell. Chapter 197. 1 week later, the public execution of Pirate King Roger. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Roger. Accompanied by the sound of clattering chains. Golden Lion Shiki threw himself in front of the cage. It roared like a beast, under the control of extreme shock and anger. His eyes were red unconsciously. Roger, you bastard, why are you here? Golden Lion Shiki asked angrily. For the relationship between Roger and Roger. Others don't know, but he couldn't be more clear about it. In general, Roger would never catch Roger in with his own hands. As long as it's not Roger Shirayasha. No one in this sea can arrest the Pirate King who has achieved supreme supremacy. Even marine heroes Garp and Admiral Sengoku are not enough. This way, the only possibility left is the last one. That is, Roger came in on his own volition. As his biggest rival, Roger, the Pirate King, is worthy of. Think of this. Golden Lion Shiki couldn't help but feel infinite anger in his heart. Imprisoned in eternal hell, he tried every possible means to escape. However, Roger, who became the freest man in the sea, took the initiative to give up his freedom. Choosing to become a prisoner of marine and world government, what kind of Tianai joke is this? Golden Lion Shiki cannot accept this reality no matter what. Oh, Shiki, you're not dead yet. Seeing the golden lion roaring like a wounded beast, Roger's eyes lit up and a look of nostalgia appeared on his face. Roger, director, please arrange my cell next to Shiki. Roger requested. Up to you, Roger responded angrily. He raised his foot and kicked Roger to the next door to Shiki, making him his neighbor. Completion of detention. Roger didn't look at Roger again. Just turned around and left. Click, click, click. Boom. Watching Roger leave and the door close. Eternal hell, which had been silent for a long time, suddenly boiled and exploded. Asshole Roger, what the hell is going on with you? What are you thinking in your head? Golden Lion Shiki asked in a loud voice. Well, don't be so excited when you see me, Shiki, calm down. Roger smiled. One Piece Roger, One Piece, what exactly is the great secret treasure? Roger, you bastard, you probably haven't forgotten me. If it weren't for you Roger pirates, how could Lousy be in this situation? Asshole Roger, if it weren't for you, I would have dominated the sea long ago. The title of Pirate King should belong to me. Roger, hurry up and tell Zahn the secret of the big secret treasure. What Pirate King? He was caught so easily. Isn't he just like us? Yes, it's really a vain name. I thought the so-called Pirate King was so powerful. The prisoners in various cages of eternal hell spoke one after another. Laughter, sarcasm, ridicule, all kinds of emotions burst out at the same time. Shut up everyone Lousy. Golden Lion Shiki's eyes flashed with ice and he shouted fiercely. But not many people paid attention to his threatening gaze. After all those qualified to be imprisoned here are extremely evil people. We are both pirate captains, so we don't obey anyone. The chaos in eternal hell lasted for 2 full days and 2 nights. Until the 3rd day, 4 marine heroes, Vice Admiral Garp, Admiral Sengoku, Admiral Zephyr and Vice Admiral Xiaohei, arrived together. The arrogant villains were finally able to calm down for a moment. Sengoku, Zephyr and Xiaohei only stayed for a short time. Then go to the 5.5th floor to find Roger. In the end, only Garp, who had a close relationship with Roger, was left. Roger, your sentence has been handed down. You will be publicly executed in Roger Town in 1 week. Garp said solemnly. Public execution. Not bad. And it's still in my hometown, which is really great. Roger nodded with satisfaction. However, Golden Lion Shiki on the side was furious again. Are you kidding me? In that weakest sea area. Execute Roger in East Blue. In this case, you might as well let me kill him here with my own hands. Golden Lion Shiki roared angrily, and the chains rattled. The weakest. East Blue is a symbol of peace, what's wrong with it? Golden Lion, you'd better shut up. After Roger, it's you. Garp glared at Golden Lion angrily. Immediately his eyes returned to Roger. Roger, what do you want to do? 647. Garp asked. Nothing, just making up for the sins committed in the first half of my life. Isn't it better for a man like me to disappear as soon as possible? Roger smiled. Wrong. Garp shouted. You bastard, you must be planning something else, I know you very well. Garp said firmly. Hey, senior brother has already taken the initiative to die. At this end, can't you trust senior brother for once? Roger joked. Snort. Garp's face turned pale. He waved and left angrily. This day, Pirate King Roger was transferred from the 6th underground floor of Eternal Hell to the warship. Escorted by 5 naval headquarters warships, proceed to the town of East Blue Roger. This day, news of the impending public execution of Pirate King Roger in the town of East Blue Roger spread throughout the sea. It caused endless shock and sensation. Countless heroes of the sea in the new era are rushing towards East Blue. This is also the day. Roger dialed the phone number in the dark room. Shiki, send that ship to South Blue and come down to Impel Down. Chapter 198. Storms gather in East Blue Roger Town. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. A week later, East Blue Roger Township. The public execution of Pirate King Roger. As soon as the news comes out, the world is shocked. The whole sea trembled, although people had already foreseen this result after learning about Roger's surrender. But when the verdict was finally finalized, people around the world were still shocked. One Piece. The Pirate King is going to be publicly executed. Ha 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 ha. Good, good. It's really good. After the King of Pirates is executed, I believe the other pirates will calm down for a while. The next sea will usher in a moment of true peace. Naive civilians naturally think so. The Pirate King was executed. What a joke. If that Roger dies, where will we find the big secret treasure? Where did Roger hide the big secret treasure? One Piece. Since you are about to die, tell us the answer quickly. Will you tell us about the location of the great secret treasure? Will that man tell us before he dies? No matter what, this is a big event not to be missed. Yoshi, kids, get ready to sail. The target is the town of East Blue Roger. Go and witness the end of the Pirate King. Pirates from all over the world set sail. Storms are gathering in the town of East Blue Roger. Asterisk 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 asterisk. North Blue. Foo. Wealth, fame, power, the man who owns everything in this world, Pirate King Roger, his death must be a truly world-class feast. Doflamingo, a sultry young man wearing a flamingo coat, covered his forehead and laughed uncontrollably. Hey, Dover, do you want to go take a look? East Blue Roger Town. Asked Torball, the two-dimensional nana monster. Go. Of course I want to go. Doflamingo grinned. 7 days from now, the town of East Blue Roger will become the center of the world, and times will change. A new era is coming, and we, the Don Quixote family, will eventually ride on the wave of the times and become the trendsetters of the new era. Grand line. Pirate King Roger. That man. How could such a man die so easily? What a joke. A young man wearing a fur trench coat, with a slicked back hair and shiny hair, slapped it down with a palm. Stone tables, stone chairs and even the earth eroded into dust under his power. A terrifying sandstorm ensued. Hey hee hee hee, the era of Pirate King Roger is coming to an end. The next step is my new era. The man with the devil's head like a shallot laughed heartily. Captain Moria, where are we going next? One of the pirates asked. If we cross the calm belt now, it's probably still too late. Let's go, kids. Gecko Moria waved his hand. East Blue, a war-torn country. Strong winds raged across the battlefield. It brought thunder and lightning. In the chaotic smoke of war, a man in a green robe looked up, his eyes filled with depth and vicissitudes of life. One Piece Roger, Master, East Blue, Roger Town. A large number of Marines arrived on the island. The town of Roger was surrounded and fully armed. Today's Roger Town is like a dragon's pond and a tiger's den. On the square, the construction of the execution platform was in full swing. A speakeasy in a small town. Asshole, the boy with the big red nose burst into tears. Idiot Shanks, this is what you said is possible. I came here with you to find the captain, not to witness. Ooh, bastard. Buggy cried and yelled with unwillingness on his face. Shanks, the red-haired boy, held the brim of his straw hat tightly with his right hand. The young face under the brim of the hat was already full of tears. New world. Roger. Captain Roger. How could you die so easily? Earth-shaking roars exploded across the sky and the earth. You are the light that illuminates my life. You are my sun. This world without you is really boring. In that case, let me destroy everything. Ha 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 ha. A man named Douglas Bullet laughed and ran wildly. Boom. The island fell apart under his power. New World Sphinx. The huge whale ship Moby Dick is still moored quietly. Dad, what should I do? Do you want me to give Roger a ride as your representative? As for me, I should be able to catch up. The captain of the first team, Marco the Phoenix, spread out his burning phoenix wings and prepared for a long journey. The will of inheritance, people's dreams, and the Uzumaki of the times, as long as people are still pursuing the answer to freedom, all of this will never stop. Whitebeard closed the newspaper in his hand and looked up at the blue sky. We really have to leave, Roger. At this moment. South Blue, a certain humble island called Battery Island. A girl in a long skirt stood alone on the edge of a cliff. Let the wind blow her long skirt and her curly hair. 2 lines of clear tears slowly rolled down her cheeks. Cemetery. At this time, from far to near, a large 3-masted sailing ship is slowly gliding meters away. The breeze blows on my face. On the cliff, there was no sound, and there was a figure. Portcas de Rouge. Yes, are you? Follow me. Chapter 199 The beginning and the end. The Great Pirate Age begins. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. See Circle Calendar 1498, Summer. The sun is blazing in the sky. Release light and heat to the earth. Even the air is slightly distorted by the scorching heat. Hoo ho ho. A little boy with silver hair was running panting through the streets of Roger Town. Finally dove headfirst into the crowd. Taking advantage of her petite body, she came to the front. Ta-ta. Uniform footsteps sounded. 2 soldiers held the flag high and walked in the front. Followed by a large number of execution soldiers armed with sharp knives. Walking in the middle of the road was a man with nose hair as unruly as the waves of the sea. Even though he knew he was going to die, there was still no emotion on the man's face. If you look carefully, you will find that Pirate King Roger, is he, laughing? The silver-haired little boy named Smoker whispered uncertainly. Gudong, gudong, all over the square. The sounds of people swallowing nervously and hard came one after another. But unexpected. 287 at this moment, no one said anything. Under the spotlight, the man who completed the Grand Line and conquered the hegemony. One Piece Gall D. Roger steps up the stairs step by step and ascends to his death place. Under the execution platform in the square, a large number of people just opened their mouths nervously and shocked, watching the Pirate King Roger board the execution platform. Because of Marine's large-scale defense, many pirates were defeated by the elites of naval headquarters when they approached Roger Town. Thus, at this moment, most of the people gathered here are civilians from Roger Town and journalists from major news agencies around the world. Certainly, of course there are pirates too. For example, 2 interns from the original Roger group, red-haired Shanks and Clown Buggy, are Doflamingo in the corner alley, Gecko Moria and Sir Crocodile among the crowd. There are also the young man in green robe, Monkey D. Dragon, and the man with the eagle eye, Dracula Mahawk, etc. Under the spotlight, Pirate King Roger sat cross-legged on the execution platform with a carefree attitude. Okay, let's solve it quickly. Roger grinned freely. Base, sharp execution knives crossed in front of him. It's obviously a hot summer day. However, it still gives people a cold feeling. The crowd under the execution platform gradually became commotion. Finally, at some point, a news agency reporter took a deep breath and shouted with all his strength. Hey, Pirate King, where are all the treasures you collected? You got it, that legendary secret treasure. That big secret treasure that is connected into One Piece, One Piece. The huge execution square fell into silence for a moment because of his words. On the execution platform, Roger smiled, laughing out loud. Ah ha ha, ah ha 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 ha. Roger faces the world. Do you want my treasure? If you want, I can give them all to you. Not good. Admiral Sengoku, who was secretly warning the surroundings, suddenly changed his expression, execution now. The execution soldiers raised their execution knives high, but they were already too late. Go find it. I put all the treasures there. One Piece Roger left his last words in this era. Poof. Blood splattered. 2 sharp knives penetrated his body. Blood soaked the execution platform. However, it was too late. Oh. The entire Roger Town square was boiling. The pirates who secretly disguised themselves as civilians and sneaked in were boiling. BDFG. And soon, the whole world will be in a state of excitement. Did you hear that? That Pirate King's last words. He placed that big secret treasure somewhere in this world. What a huge treasure that will be. No, in my opinion, that must be the shortcut to becoming the king of the sea. No matter which one it is, my departure is inevitable. Young men, let's go find that legendary secret treasure. Furfurfurl. As I expected, an unprecedented new era is about to begin. Doflamingo looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. Because of what Roger, the Pirate King, said before he died. Crocodile looked up at the sky. An era of pirates is about to come. Monkey D. Dragon whispered to himself. Next up is the age of great pirates. Boom. There was a thunderbolt in the clear sky. The sky was clear 1 second, but it was already covered with dark clouds at this moment. Thick clouds covered the sky and the earth. The sound of rumbling thunder echoed through the sky. Between heaven and earth, a strong wind blew. Heavy rain followed. Everything about the order is invisible. Look, the execution platform. In the chaotic crowd, someone shouted something. People looked up in panic. But only the remnants of the light beam that penetrated the sky and the earth were seen. The breath of time permeates the air. Countless time fragments have opened up the path to the future 22 years later. Ma'am, are you okay? I'm fine. Tianyushi waved his hand. In an instant, everything is restored as before. No one noticed anything strange. At this moment, people in the entire square were still immersed in what the Pirate King said before his death. The other side, warships near the town of Roger. Admiral Sengoku, Vice Admiral Garp, Xiaohei and others were also shocked and angry at this moment. Damn it, I knew that bastard Roger must have some purpose. Garp gritted his teeth. I thought that the death of the Pirate King would greatly reduce the arrogance of the pirates, but a terrifying era is coming. We must be prepared to respond as soon as possible. Vice Admiral Crane looked sad. As the age of pirates triggered by the One Piece. Is there really no way to stop it? Admiral Sengoku clenched his fists unwillingly. Brew. The phone buzzed urgently. What happened again? Yes. Report to Sengoku Admiral. Just now, a beam of light fell, and the body of Pirate King. Pirate King Roger disappeared without a trace. What did you say? Chapter 205 Elder's smile disappears. Impel Down's hardworking director. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Fame, wealth, power. The Pirate King, Gall D. Roger, who possesses everything in the world. He left a few words before his death, which made people all over the world rush to the sea. Open black lens bracket. Do you want my treasure? If you want it, I can give it all to you. Go find it. I put everything there. Close black lens bracket. Men are flocking to the Great Sea route to chase their dreams. The world has ushered in the era of great pirates. All around the world, countless people cheered because of the death of Pirate King Roger. However, not many people know. An unprecedented severe era is coming. The world's most powerful people are no exception. At this moment, Holy Land, Mariajoy, among the flowers, which is deeper than the throne of the void. The king of the world, wearing a floor-length robe, flicked his fingers. The bounty of Roger, the pirate king, with a bounty of 5.5 billion, turned to dust in the fire. Lights, go out. It's just that I didn't notice it. Among the flying ash fragments, there is still a small area that has not been burned out. A little spark. At the same time, the meeting hall of the 5 elders. Cheers. The 5 apparently most powerful people in the world once again toasted together and drank happily. By now, the execution of the pirate king should be over. Now, those arrogant pirates should calm down for a while. Then let's start a comprehensive eradication of the rest of the Roger pirates. We must wipe out all those who know the history without leaving any trace behind. The 5 elders spoke solemnly. I'll leave these things to the people below. But this time, the old guy from Impel Down was surprisingly obedient. He's still staying in the big prison obediently and didn't even go to see his disciple off for the last time. The blonde old star smiled proudly. So what if he's not honest? This time he knows what's going on, otherwise we'll deal with him too. The old star with the bald birthmark said coldly. However, I recently received news from South Blue's informants. Eyewitnesses said that the Roger pirates ship appeared in South Blue and stayed on a certain island for a while. What do you mean? Is that speculation true? Does the pirate king still have bloodline left in the world? Humph, then let's just wipe it out as well. Anyway, the remnants of Roger's regiment will also be wiped out. Not bad. Besides, Lord 5 Elders, the anxious and frightened shouts of the world government intelligence agent suddenly came from outside the hall. The 5 most powerful people in the world frowned in unison. These years, they have already found the pattern. The subordinates were shouting so anxiously, preparing for something good. What happened? The oldest 5 elders asked in a deep voice. Something is going wrong, Lord 5 Elders, the world is going to riot. The intelligence agent immediately recounted the riots in Roger's town square and Roger's words before his death. What did you say? That bastard Roger is about to die. Damn it, I've been tricked again. A hateful era is coming. As the era of great pirates coming next. The smiles on the faces of the 5 elders disappeared, and only deep shock and anger emerged. 5 elders. Another world government intelligence agent came rolling in. The gloomy expressions on the 5 elders' faces suddenly worsened again. What happened this time? The old star with a bald head and birthmark has bulging veins on his head. Something bad happened. Master 5 elders, Roger the Pirate King. Roger's body disappeared out of thin air. Haha, it's gone. Can the body still grow legs and run away on its own? Please give me flowers. ... Deep sea prison, Impel Down. Deputy Director Baka stood at the door of the director's office. Looking at the director working seriously in the director's office. Baka rubbed his head in confusion. This is already the 3rd day. Roger, the director who has always been a whirlwind, actually clocked in on time for 3 days in a row. This kind of thing is really strange. First time in nearly 70 years. It's unprecedented. My director can't be so diligent. Could it be that he is stimulated? 0. Baka thought with determination. Cemetery. He smiled again. Who cares? This is not a good thing anyway. It's been tight for so many years. He could finally relax and unwind. Think of this. Deputy Director Baka hummed a tune and walked away holding the thermos cup. Around noon. Director. Roger, got the job done ahead of schedule. She went straight back to the 5.5th floor underground. Welcome back. 2 pretty little Lolita trotted forward together. Director. Roger, picked up Robin and Hiyori one by one. What a nice intimate interaction. Robin, Hiyori, come to Big Mom. Tia waved. The 2 little Lolita quickly stepped forward obediently. The other side. The witch lady entered the house holding Roger's arm. Sorry, I was really wrong, sister, please let me go. Director Roger touched his cheek with his left hand. Clone Fruit's ability is lifted, and what appears again is a young, delicate and pretty face. Haha, little Shaki, this is your punishment for teasing us 3 days ago. Wake up. Miss Witch's pretty face curved like a little devil.